Hey, what's up? This is the Tuesday show. My name is Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Going all right. So we got a few topics to talk about today. Let's look at them. We're going to talk about Zeku, who is a new character in the Street Fighters. We're going to talk about, at least James is going to talk about his thoughts on the other Marvel characters.
Yeah, because I finally got a chance to mess with him, so
sick.
I'm kind of excited.
We're going to talk about a bunch of event results. A lot of stuff happened this past week. Then we're going to talk about the upcoming ELEAGUE Injustice stuff. We'll talk briefly about players there and what to expect and whatnot. We'll talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ.
That's right, the new
DLC stuff,
a lot of
etc.
new stuff and release dates, etc. Lots of stuff. So
for sure, and then assorted other stuff. But let's
right.
begin with Zeku.
Zeku just came out today. Literally, just came out. And,
new Street Fighter V character.
I found out apparently while it's downloading the update, if you go to training mode, it won't download the update anymore. Like I was in training mode, it was like it kept dying.
I'm sure I was in training mode.
Yeah, I know. Like I thought that I've done it before, but it didn't work, so I left it sit there, and then it worked. But I got him finally. So I was
PlayStation problems.
Yeah, I know. I was able to mess with him for an hour basically. So I got
cool. Okay, so you got a good chance.
Yeah, I got a chance to mess with him.
I got a bit of a chance myself. I played with him for probably about 20 minutes until I had to skedaddle. So he is Guy's master.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability. He's a stance character.
Yes,
he
Guy's
comes into the stage,
as evidenced by this picture here. There he is. He's
whoa!
Ready to fight
Dang!
against.
Look at his big old lion's mane. That's pretty cool. He's Guy's master, and he has two versions of himself. I guess the old one and the young one, and they are stances. They're different characters in the same character. Different normal attacks, different special attacks.
Yeah, I mean they're
dudes.
Basically completely different characters outside of their critical art, and they have a similar
trigger.
V trigger, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, like they're about as different as you can get between two characters.
And you remember, Gen was very much the same, right? In Street Fighter 4, Gen was very much the same. Different guy with respect to the different stances, but you could switch pretty quickly, and especially in that one stupid alt, you couldn't really tell which one he was.
Well, actually, no, all the alts were for Gen. You couldn't, all the costumes you couldn't tell which one he was. There was only one that you could.
Oh, I had it backwards.
Yeah,
You're totally right. You
there was
see
one
it
with
in
a mask, and so a lot of people wouldn't pick that one.
Fair enough.
Because he had two different jumps.
That was very stupid.
Right? Yeah.
So you had to actually see him moving to know which one he was in. But for Zeku, there's like a much more obvious the V skill switches you, or there's a special move that switches you too. It's like super clear. He looks graphically different. You don't have to just see him walking around, moving around. He looks different, so you know which one he is. I've had a chance to play with him too. Well, before we talk about the actual gameplay, what do you think about him as looks like the character?
Honestly, I feel like Capcom has been kind of killing it actually including from Abigail to Zeku, animation wise and just cool little touches and things like that. I actually feel like Capcom has been really hitting it out of the park with these three characters. I mean, to sound like a really terrible. I mean, that sounds like an esports phrase so much. He's been hitting it out of the park.
Oh, God.
I will not say that again. He looks awesome. He looks really cool. I feel like they gave him a lot of good time. Someone actually put out an image of how all the normal moves match up to Strider's normal moves from MvCI and actual Strider games and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can see a clear parallel, I think, with Strider buttons. For some of them, you can see a clear parallel with Guy buttons in the past. There's very clearly, the inspiration. I think he looks great. I really do. I think he's animated well. I love that he has a little post special move dances, or whatever, like Abigail does. I think that's very cool. I think he looks cool. I think he sounds good.
Dude, even after you land,
it's a nice audio visual work. I gotta say.
After you land his critical art, he says, "That is the power of Bush." You can shut him up. He poses. He's like, "That is the," and if you crouch, he just stops talking.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't. Yeah. So I'm with you. I feel like the last few characters have been really, really well done.
Dude, even the fact that Graham, when he does the kick in old man mode, has the same sound effect as Strider Sword.
Oh, that I didn't notice.
It actually does it has the same sound effect.
That is cool.
Yeah, but you know what? Olaf Redland brought up an interesting lore point, though, and I don't know how much you've played Strider before, or even if you remember the assist in MvC1. Tompu.
Neither.
Tompu is an enemy in Strider, and they actually jump down, and they do Strider blades with kicks. but they're bad guys. So Zeku now has Strider blades with kicks, and it's like, did two branches come off? There was the Tompu path, and then the Strider path. I don't know. Just kind of, I don't know. Olaf brought that up, and I was like, whoa, the lore just got deeper.
That actually is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he looks great.
Yeah.
So, okay. Nice work. Nice work to old Capcom over there. Let's talk about the gameplay. I don't find myself very interested in it.
Well, after Abigail and Minot, two characters that I was very interested in, Zeku turned out he's more limited than I was expecting him to be. Like, I thought he was going to be able to cancel into his V skill. His V skill, like, remember how it says you could teleport to either side and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, that only happens if he hits.
Right.
So it's only just choosing. It's not even a real mix-up. Like, I thought on block, he would be able to transform and pick mix-ups and et cetera, et cetera. You can't even cancel into it. In young mode, you can't really do run-stop pressure because, like, Fierce into run-stop is still so long. Like, he's just, like, run-stopping forever, pretty much. So you can't really do a lot of that kind of stuff. So I actually was surprised. And the only way, like, to combo into the V-skill to transform, like, old is really limited. Basically has only one way to do it, which is make sure you hit crouch heavy punch into medium kick, up blade, spin kick, quarter circle, back with kick, and then you can combo into his V. But like the other Strider, like old young Strider has like a target combo into it. Anytime you land the shoulder, you can combo light punch into light shoulder and still juggle and transform. Like, he's going to be able to transform all day. Now, the special command to change is so fast, it's not going to be too much of an issue. So, but I just thought he was going to be a character like that. You might be able to play him close up and just be like switching between them like constantly during the offense, and that's not the situation. So
no, it seems like the two characters are very different. I don't know that they. I don't know that they like mesh that well. I feel like the old man seems to me more like a distance character. Not zony per se, but like definitely controls the mid range better. And then young man seems like he's more about being up close and mobile. So I don't know how they fit.
Right.
I don't know. Like it's. I guess maybe if you want a zonery type character, then you just stay with old man, and like maybe if you want rushdown. Maybe you just pick one and you just stick with it for the whole game.
Yeah, see, I was about to say, yeah, it almost feels like there's two characters here.
Yeah.
And that you're just going to pick your preference. But the big advantage that he has is that he's going to be able to counterpick without changing characters. I mean, because if you win and then they go to Zangief, I'll be old Zeku. And if they win and they go to this guy, I can be young Zeku. Okay. So, there's kind of that option. But how much really are people going to be switching back and forth?
I have no idea. I almost wonder, I didn't test this, but do you know if just like button into the stance switch special move, does that actually leave you at better frames than button into run cancel?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I didn't test that one.
I don't know.
I mean, both of them have cancelable. No, actually, I don't think Strider's Far Fierce was cancelable.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah, only Zeku's was. Yeah. So,
I think for young, it was only crouching strong and the lights.
Yeah, and then for old, only standing strong and standing heavy punch could be canceled. But like he had that like this nice range, crouching medium punch, crouching medium kick, but neither of them could cancel the crouching medium kicks.
Right.
Dude, the crazy part was that I noticed that in young, in Strider mode, dude, his jump attacks suck. He only has one good jumping medium kick, which does everything. Cross up, hits low and everything. Doesn't have great range, but everything else hits up. It's weird. So he actually, I feel like, will have a lot of weird mix-ups that he can do jump attack with throw, to fake people. But that's not real. It's not real. So
I don't know. His gameplay is confusing to me. And I'm not interested enough by either side of him to do like the legwork to find out, It's like, I was interested enough with Abigail, so I did it. And with Season 1, I did it with a bunch of characters. I was interested. With Manette, I even put in some time just to, like, see what I could do, because I thought she was interesting.
Right.
I don't know about Zeku, and I am not interested enough to look into it.
I mean, it's interesting that, as a stance character, I feel like he's probably the least weird out of a lot of the characters that have come out. You know, like I think Ed is actually weirder. Colleen might be weirder.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I think they're all weirder.
Yeah, no, I for sure.
Than Zeku. Zeku feels like a lot of his stuff feels kind of like this is what you're supposed to do. Even his V trigger is surprisingly very, very straightforward.
Yes.
Because after you activate it, it just gives you one dash cancel, right? Which I like, by the way.
It's cool.
Thank God, because we have been having way too many comeback V triggers. And this one doesn't feel like as much of a comeback V trigger.
Well, you're right. It's not going to give you like multiple mix-ups and death, right? But if you land a hit, I mean, I remember watching the Winner Stays On stream. Who was introducing him, and they were already doing 500 damage.
Right.
With button, V trigger,
button into dash,
yada yada. That was already there, and I'm sure there's going to be better optimization than that. So it's going to be a damaging thing, but yeah, you only get one. You only get one dash, and then it's gone.
The nice thing about that though, is that if you spend it right away, he's going to be a character that has a lot more opportunities to get 2 V triggers in a round because it's 2 bars, and if you cancel into spend it right away, you're going to get it back almost instantaneously.
Sure. I mean, if nothing else, it's like Fang's trigger, he just gets it more often, right? Fang's trigger is only useful because you can cancel sweep. That's it. It sucks otherwise.
That's why I keep saying if Fang had the ability to do
I know. Yeah, and then get
spend it all of it, he would be way better.
For
he
sure.
would actually be better.
For sure. So Zeku can at least do that, and then he gets a dash. Cool. Right? So, I mean, it doesn't seem like the best V-trigger, but it doesn't seem like a bad V-trigger either. I mean, he's like so not weird that it's almost weird to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think that he's going to be bad or good. I have no impression of that right now. I have no idea.
Probably not bad.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
But I was hoping that he would be a little crazier. And I know like Vi did too, because he was like, "Oh, here we go. I'm going to be able to have my rushdown character," you know, which is funny because I mean, Street Fighter V is not lacking in rushdown characters.
Literally, go to the character select and spin a wheel, and you'll land on one.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I did like. You know, aesthetically, again, I just love the fact that like his moves are a really nice blend between Strider and from Guy.
They
Crouching Heavy Punch looks in Strider mode looks exactly like Guy, etc. Oh, actually, no, I think it was Old Man. Yeah, Old Man. Yeah, Old Man's has it.
What I like about it is that it's not exactly like it's not like they literally copied the animation, but it's clearly close. It's like strongly inspired by it, and you can imagine like. Guy's seen this move a million times, and he like makes his slight adaptation to it. But it's not exactly the same.
It was like the Goken thing, right? Remember how Goken looked like he had different kind of moves, and it was like, oh, you could see how Ryu developed it and everything like that. But I mean, the one thing that was interesting though was that they kind of based the move so much that even Strider mode standing light punch looks really whack. Like he's just like. But that's like exactly what Guy did, you know. So I thought that was actually kind of funny. So.
I like it. I think he looks good. I just am not sure how interesting he'll be to play. But we'll see. I'm sure there are people out there who like him. And I've already seen, I think the Feetly put up a Twitter clip of combo into one mix-up into that's the end of the round.
Oh, okay. Well, that's standard, like, you know, expecting that.
Yeah. I don't think it was... Actually, it might not have even been a mix-up. It might have just been like combo into another combo.
Right, yeah, okay.
Just
but
like
I mean, was there was
ideal
a critical
situation. And super at the end, of course, is featuring in the middle. Of course.
Okay.
We'll see. So that's Zeku. He's out right now. See how that pans out. I guess he'll be banned for Canada Cup, which is, of course, this weekend, and that's too early. Right,
which was weird, too, because you remember... that the 3 new characters for MvCI were like immediately playable at like all events they announced, even though in their rules specifically state that it was like they're banned for a week. But you know,
whatever. Zeku will still be banned for Canada Cup, as far as I know. All right.
Hopefully not for the team tournament, because it'd be cool if someone busted out Zeku in the team tournament. I hope so.
That's not covered by Capcom rules, so you're right.
Exactly.
Well...
Oh, yeah, actually, slide the trophy over here, because it is not blocking the table over here. There you go. This is the reveal right here that we're using the table backwards, basically. You're supposed to sit on the other side. And the computer wires and everything like that are supposed to go through here, basically. But we use the table backwards because it creates the nice arch here. So.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, you brought up the Marvel characters, the new 3
Yes.
Marvel characters. I briefly went over my thoughts about them last week, but you hadn't had a chance to play them yet. So you have now, and what do you think?
I really want to learn Black Panther.
Yeah, you're a Panther fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is so interesting.
Okay.
Because he's all movement based.
Yeah.
He's all now he doesn't have the greatest mix ups right now. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But just the fact that everything could be canceled into the wall thing, and then you could crouch cancel, and then he could just land, and then I don't know. It just feels like he's going to be an active character, and that really kind of intrigues me right now. So I've been following. Sick. If you guys want good Panther stuff, go check out Filthy Rich's Twitter right now. Filthy Rich, of course, also one of the main Urian guys early on when he first came out in Street Fighter V.
For sure.
But I've been looking at a lot of his stuff, and I really want to learn Black Panther, but now I'm just like, who do I pair him up with? And I'm trying to figure out the right team for him right now.
Okay, I think I'm happy to hear that, because I've heard a lot of negativity about Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because his mix-ups aren't very
right, exactly. And that's the weak part about him, is that he's going to have a hard time opening people up, which is weird, but then I might as well pair him with Captain America, because then I'll have 2 characters who can't open you up to save your life.
So my theory about Marvel Infinite is that we cannot just talk about assists and supports. Or points and supports. That's not the game. Instead, there needs to be a category of, I think Dan on Twitter called it initiators. I was calling them party starters because I didn't know what to say. But I think he's good for that. He doesn't do the mix-ups, but he inserts his partner into where they can mix up. I think he's really good at that.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see people explore that side, because I think that's a cool idea.
Dude, B-Stepter just totally called me out. I like another cat character.
Man,
Dang
you
it.
just can't escape.
What the hell, man?
Cannot escape.
I did not even think about that. But yeah, I have my cat character now.
You're stuck.
Jesus, that's crazy.
You're stuck. Well, don't play him with the old captain, because
that's going to be a terrible team. That's going to be a terrible team. But Monster Hunter is really interesting as well, because she's super slow, but everything's cancelable into that dash, and that's really what kind of opens her up. And she's way more versatile than I thought she was going to be, because I never, if I was going to find a combo with 5 launches, legit launches in this game, I didn't think it would be Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah?
But I have a combo with 5 launches in it, which is actually kind of funny.
That is cool.
But she seems really interesting to me. And what's cool right now is that she's been opening up a lot of characters for other people. I saw that Chris G now is, found a Morrigan team now. He has not been able to find a partner for Morrigan, but now he has Morrigan and Monster Hunter, and he really likes that team.
Oh, interesting.
The team works well for him, so he's like, wow. Even he was like, I'm surprised that it took Monster Hunter to get me a Morrigan team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can see that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And then Sigma, I don't know, he's weird to me.
Yes.
He's surprisingly slow and floaty.
Very
and
slow.
I don't know, it's not how I would have pictured Sigma fighting at all.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
with the sword, little things being left behind with this weird slow dash.
Yep.
I didn't think that was going to be how he played, so I don't know. He's the one that I'm probably least interested in right now.
Okay.
He seems kind of generic to me right now. But funny thing is, I've never been a Sigma fan. I don't know if that's affecting me or what.
I think he looks dumb. I don't care about the character. But I do think he's really good. I think he's really good.
He can't even be a bootleg Buzz Lightyear, because he looked like that before Buzz Lightyear.
That's true.
Sigma
predates
Buzz Lightyear by a long time. So
I like his. So the special move dashes, I don't know what they're called, whatever. They're slow. But that actually is really good. I think that slow special moves are really strong in this game.
Yes.
And special moves that are diagonal up, I think are really good.
Because they cover the sky, too.
Well, that's part of it, but the other part of it is that if you are close and you do that special move, then you don't have to worry about your guy getting his butt kicked because he is now behind the opponent. Right? Sigma moves behind the opponent, and now the new dude, the new character, is in front. So you're automatically protecting your assists. So I feel that's actually really good.
Okay.
I think he has good zoning and good pressure, and he sets up. I think he's actually really strong.
Okay.
Really
yeah,
strong.
I mean, I believe it. I mean, honestly, out of all of them right now, I think Sigma and Monster Hunter feel significantly stronger than Black Panther.
I think I agree with that.
Black Panther is he's got to be a character that's just got to force people to make mistakes because the pressure is just so crazy. You know what I mean? But I don't know how that's going to pan out in this game because you don't want one character going ham. If you're just having one character going ham, I feel like you're playing it wrong. But, I can imagine like having a Monster Hunter Black Panther team where Monster Hunter just does quarter circle forward and then you just go into Black Panther and go nuts in that situation. But she can do that for everybody.
Yeah. And I don't feel like Panther is useful as like the guy that you tag into. Because where the mix-ups aren't there. Right? I don't know why you would tag into him.
Right.
But I think he's excellent for starting things off. So if you have like some good high-low character but doesn't have great mobility or something, some good command grab mix-up character doesn't have good mobility, and you just want to get close, you just Black Panther, I did a wall dive or whatever, and now here I am. I got Hacker right here.
I wonder how crazy it would be to actually have like Spider-Man Black Panther and just be like rush tag.
Okay, rush. Interesting. When you first mentioned that, I think of running away. I think of like being very slow, biding my time with the other side, and then like all of a sudden, at any moment I can be in your face with both of those guys, and so you have to play differently. That's my thought. That's my theory about Black Panther right now. Yeah. But we'll see. I think they're all fun, all unique, which is great. So.
Cool.
New characters. Yep,
there you go. So, do you want to just move on to event results?
Let's talk about events.
All right, let's do this here. Just ding. There we go. Nice. All right. Remember to change the topics. All right. So let's talk about results. Which one do you want to go for first? I've got Toushinsai, I've got ELEAGUE, Dreamhack, Red Bull Proof of Grounds.
Up to you.
All right. Let's talk about. Let's save ELEAGUE for last because then we can transition right into the preview for next week. So let's talk about Dreamhack first. So Dreamhack Denver just took place this weekend. Lots of games there.
Yes.
Tekken 7, for example, which 7th place was XL Spiro Jin with Eddie and Paul, as well as ITS Jackie Tran with Jackson and Jackie Tran. That is a name I have not heard in a while. Wow. Okay. 5th place was ITS jchensor with Akuma and Xiaoyu. 5th place is NG Obscure with Elisa. 4th place, Anakin with Jack 7. 3rd place, Circa Joey Fury with Jack 7 Gigas. 2nd place, PG Speed Kicks with Huarong. And 1st place, Jimmy J. Tran with Brian.
Yeah. Did you watch it at all?
I did not get a chance. Yeah, I did not get a chance. I did see that Poke Chop went all the way out there, and he ended up getting 9th place. So I think he just fell outside of the Tekken World Tour. I think if he got in the top 8, he might have qualified. But
man, that would have been sick.
I know. Like I feel like that's missing a lot.
That is a big bummer. For sure. Well, I watched some of it, and dude. Joey Fury's Gigas was sick.
That's crazy. Gigas. Because, that character is, supposedly, super terrible.
Well, kind of limited. I'm no Tekken expert. From what I've heard is that he's kind of limited. But, straightforward, not terrible, but just, too straightforward a lot of the time. But, yeah, he did some sick work. He had some good punishes with it. He mixed up well. It was really cool to watch. He kept a good range.
Nice. Because, that's what he's supposed to be, is about his reach, right? He's a range character, so...
Yeah. It was very cool to watch for me.
Nice.
So. That was good.
Jimmy J. Tran, a.k.a. Emphy, a.k.a. Mr. Naps, a.k.a. Shang Tsung.
Not anymore.
Yeah, now he's just Jimmy J. Tran, but he is continuing a pretty dominant streak here, so...
Yeah.
Good job to him.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you can see in 9th place, NYC Fab, Wei Gamble, Princess Ling was in there. 13th place, Rixta was in there. So a lot of good players showed up here.
Yeah, and like you said, Poke Chop was 9th.
In Melee, And Melee, 7th place, Zane with Marth. And 7th place, Mewtwo King. Echo Fox's Mewtwo King with Marth and Ganondorf. 5th place, CLG SFAT with Fox, as well as Liquid Chudat with Ice Climbers and Fox. Oh, come on.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, 4th was Tempo S2J with Captain Falcon. 3rd place, Tempo Axe with Pikachu, Young Link, and Falco.
Yeah.
2nd place, C9 Mango with Fox and Mario. And
Sick.
1st place, Liquid Hungry Box again with Jigglypuff. So
My man.
I wonder if there's more salt in that department
I hope
from
so.
the Melee fans. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Liquid Hungry Box continuing to do well. He just won the Big House, didn't he? Or
It was Big House, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
Big
okay,
Major recently.
okay.
Pretty sure it was Big House.
And Super Smash Bros. 4, 7th place Cosmos with Corin, FX Karna? Yeah, Karna with Sheik and Cloud. 5th place Abadongo with Mewtwo and Bayonetta, as well as Esam with Pikachu. Sad there's no one who uses Pac-Man anymore. 4th place Javi with Sheik and Cloud. 3rd place MSF Larry Lur with Fox and Marth. 2nd place MVG Salem with Bayonetta. And 1st place TSM Zero with Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
We haven't actually had a chance to talk about that Kotaku article that
haven't.
came out about Zero and how he was getting a bunch of death threats and all this stuff like that. And like how he just basically, because he was the best player, he's had to slog through a bunch of just like negativity online and everything like that. I mean, is there anything that you want to say about that, or?
There was a little jerkery on his side. He wasn't completely blameless in some
Right.
situations. But, yeah, I mean, that article, if folks haven't read it, was an eye-opener to what he has had to experience.
And almost maybe a sign of why he's been kind of had some jerkery in the past.
Hard to
Because
blame him if
yeah.
that's happening so often. So, yeah, I thought that was real crappy. Upsetting to hear that he had death threats, credible death threats.
Yeah, someone said that they were going to bring
Wild.
a gun to an event, and he actually had to bring a bodyguard with him to an event. This was at the Esports arena too. Like that was he brought a bodyguard to the Esports arena just to have someone look out
Crazy.
for anybody who might try to do something crazy. So,
So I'm like I haven't been rooting for Zero. I haven't been rooting against him either, but like I just, I haven't been rooting for him, I guess.
right,
Now I'm going to root for him.
yeah.
Let's go, Zero.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's understandable when a person's doing well that he becomes the heel that you want him to lose. Like, that's what happened with Justin during MvC2. Like, nobody wanted that guy to win, but I don't think anyone gave him any death threats. We don't know. I could probably ask him and find
That's
out.
true. Never
just to
thought
be
about
sure. But man, I mean,
It was also a very different time. I mean, everything was so much smaller, so much more localized. We heard about Justin on the West Coast, but we almost never saw him. You saw him once a year.
True, yeah.
At Evo or something, but different situation. So anyway, very upsetting to hear about Zero. I'm glad that he's doing well.
Again, it's just, there's something about the Smash community. I feel like they just take things so seriously. I don't know what it is. Like there's a lot of, I feel like what they do to poor Hungry Box when they get mad at him for winning and stuff like that. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Let's all be friends.
Yeah, well,
Let's all
all
be
right.
friends. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite results at Dreamhack Denver. 7th place was Flash with Raccoon and Dante. They don't list the gems here. 7th place was Shiny Shoes, Thanos and Nemesis. 5th place, Urian with a Y, FTP Urian, so he's transferring files, I guess, with Nova and Ultron, and NCG Frost with Morgan Jetta. 4th place, RLB Coffee Prince with Ultron Thanos. 3rd place, Havoc Noah with Rocket Raccoon and Jetta. 2nd place, Havoc Viper with Hawkeye and Ultron. And 1st place, HB Punisher with Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, as well as Hawkeye Rocket Raccoon, also a hitbox player. That's what the HB stands for. Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, I mean, he even put out a tweet, like, at one point he said, I'm going to learn hitbox, and someone's like, it's too late for you to learn hitbox, you'll never be anything significant if you spend all that time. Well, he just won a tournament. So
Nonsense.
Hitbox is...
Very good.
Yeah, and apparently so is Rocket Raccoon. 3 of them in the top 8.
Yes, I think everybody thinks that. He is a good character, there's no doubt about it. And I've been watching a bunch of Punisher because I've been watching a bunch of NLDC, and I've been watching House of either Chaos or Crack.
Chaos.
I mean, I know, but I watched that stream, and they themselves are calling it House of Crack constantly.
They can't. So, they're too used to it.
Whatever.
Sure,
but anyway, I've been watching HOC a lot, and Punisher's on there, and he's doing good work, man. Nice. They got a lot of talented players over there.
Good stuff. Street Fighter V. 7th place was VS Pokechop with Urian.
All right.
And Rain with Laura. 5th place Flash with Urian. 5th place also Dangerous with Zangief. 4th place Noble Vagabond with Nakali and Akuma. 3rd place Pavocado. I didn't know Pavocado made it out there. Okay.
Me neither.
With Armika. 2nd place 801 Strider with Laura. And 1st place Liquid Knuckle Dew with Guile and Cammy.
Sick.
Did you get a chance to see any of this one?
Negative. No, I was busy the whole time.
I did not get a chance to see this either.
What I had heard was that they had originally said that starting time would be 2 p.m. and then it turned out it was 10 a.m.
What?
So a lot of people were disqualified. Yeah. And then somebody stepped in. I heard it was Jabali, but I don't want to give him credit because he's, you know how that guy is with credit. He'll just sop it up. He's a big sponge for credit. Whatever ended about it. People were put back into the bracket. I don't know if everybody was.
Oh, I did remember hearing about that. I'm not sure if everybody
was.
Some people were claiming top player privilege or something.
I know, for example, Gustavo Ito and Strider was because he was disqualified and then he was put back in and then he got 2nd place overall. So again, I don't know if everybody was able to get back in. I hope so, because that is wild BS.
Yeah, that's whack.
4 hours. I mean, you would not be there at 10 a.m. if it started at 2. You wouldn't be there at 12.
Dude,
you might not be there at 1:50.
When we have commentary scheduled at 2 p.m., we're like, shit, we could sleep till 1:30.
100%. Absolutely. So that was craziness, but I'm glad that at least some people did get back into the bracket.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
Pokken, 7th place, Meme Stealer Sir Salty with Breakson. Sorry Tag with Mewtwo. 5th place FAB, Suicune Master with Suicune and Lucario. 5th place SK Dale with Garchomp. 4th place NG Obscure with Suicune and Mewtwo. 3rd place Live with Dave with Blazikins. 2nd place Double with Breakson. And 1st place Twixie with Chandelure. Now, oh god, who was it? It was Coach Steve that I was talking to that they were saying that the new character was completely broken in this game. And I don't think that character is listed here anywhere. So I wonder if people are not using that character just soft, like because they have too much pride to play with it, or did they actually patch it? I'm not actually sure.
I don't know either.
Guilty Gear Exerd Rev. Wow, they played a lot of games here. Guilty Gear Exerd Rev 2. 7th place was Saijo with Ramlethal. 7th place was also Dashar with Venom. 5th place Havoc Viper with Faust and Shiny Shoes with Potemkin. 4th place Pericles with Leo, Soul, and Raven. 3rd place Flash with Chip. 2nd place Beautiful Dude Zato 1. 1st place Havoc Noah with Eno.
All right.
Super Smash, and then there's Melee doubles and Smash 4 doubles results. So we'll just go ahead and skip that one there. So. Okay, let's move on to the Red Bull Proving Grounds results. This was the culmination of all the different cities running all the Red Bull events, doing, like here's Atlanta, here's NorCal, here's SoCal, here's Seattle, here's the Canada section, here, etc. And they all got together and played with each other. And not only that, but it was also home of another Battle of the Stones event. So this is where you could actually get a one of the
Power Stone.
The Power Stone, yes. And so
Power Stone was up for grabs.
And so here right now for the Red Bull Proving Grounds finale, they only list 2 of the teams here. So I'm not sure which teams let's see here. They didn't have a list of all the teams that showed up there, but 2nd place was Team Philadelphia with NS Ludovic, with Chun-Li, SB Dominion with Ed, and SB JB with Rashid. So that one was definitely Team Philadelphia. But good job to them. And 1st place was Team PGO with Gamma DR Ray Ibuki, Gam Kaba with Guile, and Nephew with Colleen. No shock here.
I agree.
No shock here. And, I saw even some people, like, Kiko is the biggest PR, promoter and everything like that, because that's where he's from and everything like that. But he's been asking, why is Kaba not sponsored, right? I mean, to be honest with you, he probably should remove the GAM from the front of his name, because that's a strategy a lot of players have used because it looks like that they're sponsored. But two, honestly, I don't know why he's not sponsored, because this guy is ridiculous.
Very good player.
He has a great personality. Honestly,
That's true.
The only thing that's probably holding him back is that he doesn't know English very well, right? But that obviously hasn't stopped a lot of Japanese players from getting sponsored, so
sure.
I don't think that that's a concern. So definitely
Shouldn't be
Kaba
anyway.
is a player to look for, because that guy is so talented. Very,
Absolutely
very
right.
talented. So. And then also Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Battle for the Stones. The result, 7th place, Iconic with Dante and Chun-Li. Circa Joey D with Zero and Thanos. 5th place, PG Punk with Dante and Ultron. PG Coach Steve with Spencer and Nova. 4th was Neo Karsh, formerly from Dominican Republic. I'm sorry, from Puerto Rico,
Correct.
right? With Gamora, Captain Marvel, 3rd place, PG Ray Ray. Wow, Panda Global did really well at this event.
Yes, they did.
PG Ray Ray, Gamora, Ultron. 2nd place, Echo Fox, Sonic Fox with Jedi Rocket Raccoon. But 1st place, Fort Cloud 805 with Zero Dante. I have not seen this, but I heard the grand finals was super close. And
It was literally a dropped combo.
right,
Yes.
from Sonic Fox.
Sonic Fox screwed up and lost.
He dropped a combo?
Sonic
That
Fox
is-
screwed up and lost. He was in losers, and so he had to come back, and it was a 3-0 in the first set.
Dang.
He blew him up,
Okay.
and then the second set was definitely closer.
Okay.
But,
okay.
Could have easily gone the other way.
Oh,
So
well-
the Power Stone.
Well, for one thing, though, good for Cloud 805.
Yes.
He says that he has not won a major like this, even in UMVC3 ever. Like,
Really?
he has always gotten, like, second places or whatever like that. He said this is one of, like, the first times that he's, won a major like this. So if that's the case, shout outs to Cloud 805. Really glad to see that he's still in this. And I know a lot of people are mad that Zero has invincibles, uppercut supers, and things like that. But, character's still pretty good.
Zero Dante is still one of the best
Someone
teams.
said the first set was 3-1.
Was it 3-1?
Yeah, And then apparently Cloud should have won the second one 3-1, but maybe he dropped a combo.
Well, he was definitely dropping stuff as well.
Okay,
For sure.
okay,
It was
yeah.
definitely on both sides. It wasn't just Fox. It wasn't just Fox.
Dude, don't even make fun of less than 100 entrants, man. We did B3, we had like 60-some people. We were like, yeah, man, look at this crazy
20
tournament.
plus years ago.
Crazy tournament. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
not.
pretty bad.
Less than 100, you think?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think it's pretty awful.
Okay.
It's terrible. I'm just gonna be real with you, James.
Okay.
It's bad, but what was I gonna say?
Zero Dante is very good.
Okay, yeah.
Zero Dante was really good in Marvel 3, and it's awesome again. And it's good for not even the same reasons. That's the crazy thing, is that the characters are different, or you play them differently at least, and yet they are still super good. Super good. So, as a result, Cloud 805 gets the Power Stone. And
Which basically is what Killer Kai wanted it to be,
I guess kind of it is.
but done in-game instead.
So the Power Stone allows you to get the first hit. In its little explanation slide, it said it allows you to get the first hit, some filler, forget what it was, then giving you the first combo. Those are totally different things. So I again, somebody needs to lawyer these things. Somebody just got to call up Capcom and be like, look, guys, have you thought about X, Y, and Z and A, B, and all these things? Because there are too many what ifs. Do you have to do the hit in the first 5 seconds? Or can you wait until the very last second of the match?
Right. You could do like...
What if you say, okay, let's play, but I get the first combo. And if you combo me, I win that game.
I mean, to me, it's supposed to be like round one start, let the guy do the combo, and
Can
then
you build
go.
up resources first?
I don't know.
Well, nobody knows.
Right, can you whiff uppercuts and build meter and stuff like
right.
that? Yeah.
What can you do? What can you do? So at a minimum, Cloud is going to have to find some wild hits on decay thing with his team, which I'm sure exists for Zero Dante. But
But see, here's the question. Do you feel like that HSD glitch will still be in it by the time
that's a
we
good
get
question.
there? Right.
I don't know. And does this stone need to be used in game 1? Or can you save it for game, 5 in a close set, and in the last game, the deciding game, you get the first combo into your set play, and you basically go, good luck.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, there are too many
Unknowns.
legal oh
unknowns.
man.
Seriously, every time the stone comes out, there should be an asterisk next to it, and then a second slide of just nothing but tiny print.
There needs to be tiny print. I'm not even joking. There should be tiny print. Because I guarantee everybody who has a stone is thinking about all these possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. If in the middle of the combo it gets to 2 meters, can they counter switch? Are they allowed to counter switch?
Fantastic question. I don't know. Nobody knows. These things need to be decided.
Right.
Man, if you can't even counter switch and, it's anyway.
I mean, apparently it was confirmed by
Yikes.
Damon that it has to be used at the start of a round. But
What does that mean?
Yeah, I know, right?
What if you screw up your combo?
What
And
if
you're
you
like,
grab your combo?
well, let me restart. Because I am owed the first combo.
Yeah, but I think if you
What if it's like jump in, then you miss the second hit's timing and it doesn't say combo on the screen? Come on, guys! Is Damon in there or
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. I gotta chat with this fella.
Yeah, I know. They need to get you to write all this stuff down, man. I don't know why they haven't yet. It seems kind of...
They need somebody for sure. I'm happy to do it, but
do a reset
somebody needs
while
to do
you
it.
combo. That's true. What if you just start the combo and then do a reset partway through it just to surprise someone? Like, here's my combo, and then reset, and then
Yeah, why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
So the Power Stone. We'll see how that goes.
Yep. Shout-outs to Adomadak, who is in the chat right now. Jibbo, of course. Definitely want to check out his stuff. He's been putting a lot of information out there on Twitter about Marvel and Street Fighter. And actually, him and Javits just did a podcast recently, like the Tech Monsters podcast.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't had a
know
chance
that.
to listen to it, but
Sick.
you should definitely check that out as well.
I will. I had no idea. Thanks for all of that very useful Marvel Infinite Chris technology. That's really gonna. Oh, you're gonna see that everywhere. Oh yeah, that's bounding down and pounding down the old doors.
I always just like the fact that he did that one thing where he activates the Mind Stone and then he immediately reloads and it goes, humanity will always reload.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't notice that.
Humanity will always reload. I was like, good commentary on the state of guns in the States, you know?
Oh, that's funny. All right.
But, as you mentioned, you think that less than 100 people...
Terrible.
Is terrible, right? Also terrible, single elimination, single game.
Even worse.
Let's go talk about Toushinsai. Now, look, I'm not going to dump on the tournament. The production I heard was great. I heard a lot of the talent there was very good. The matches were great and everything like that. But I just don't know how you can run like a culmination. Like, here's your qualifiers from the U.S. They all show up here. They're all playing. And it's just single elimination, single game. I just don't know how that...
It's dumb. Do you want me? I mean, I'm happy to say it's dumb.
It's a completely different strategy. And especially when
stupid.
the tournaments that qualify for it are not that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it's not good. I don't like it.
I was hoping that format would have died when SBO died. I didn't want SBO to die. I wanted it to reform itself. But when it died, I was hoping that was the end of it.
Some people were saying that there was Exer Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5 singles at Red Bull as well. I don't have those results anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have those results.
We were looking around. We couldn't find it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Mind Stone ability. Force your opponent to pick the Mind Stone.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to
Unless you're playing Chris.
Then humanity will always reload.
Alright.
Okay. But Toushinsai, unfortunately, US went there. Like in the team tournament, Kizzy K went up first. First round, he gets a perfect, and then they all lose. So, US did not do anything, did not really do any damage here, unfortunately. Let's see if they have the results listed here. They do not have the results listed here, actually. Oh, no, it says results. Never mind. Here we go. So King of Fighters 14 arcade version was... Why did they list King of Fighters 14 first? It's so weird. Hasumi with Mien Mature and Meitin Kun. Third place was also Azu Nyanko with Chang Billy Zarina. Of course, this is single elimination, so you get tied for third place. Second place was Tagasako with Geese Yuri Benimaru as well as Yuri Benimaru Vice. First place was Turkey with Benimaru Kyo and Iori. Oh, there they are. Okay. For Tekken 7, third place was Glory Tai Curry with Fang, Noroma with Jack 7, and Chikurin with Jin. So this is obviously a team tournament. Mm-hmm. And a Miracle Romance with SFD LAC Yoshimitsu with AO Aliza and CAG Tanukana with Xiao Yu. Second place was Mushin Tekken with Nobi Dragonov, Yu with Fang, and Take with Kazumi. And first place was Tekka H. Suki with Gugumats with Fang, Ken Miguel, and Terrace Cutter with Kazumi. That's interesting because that's the team that I had. I'm not familiar with any of those players.
Same, dude.
Like I know Nobi, I know like Tanukana, etc. Noroma. Pokin. Third place was so this is a 2-man team tournament. So third place was Ake no Banin with Gani Kosu with Mewtwo and Saru Taro with Dark Mewtwo. Taito Amusement City Koriyama with Elm Suikune and Pangi with Garchomp. Futariwa Bug Chara with Tanbarin Lucario and Rara Samu Caesar. And first place was Furima Nanmin 2017 with Azazel Machamp and Momo Septile.
Really?
Are you surprised about the Machamp?
Yes. That guy's been sick throughout the entirety of Poken's life. Mm-hmm. He was doing work back to... Well, people have always thought Machamp was not very good. Mm-hmm. I assume that hasn't changed. I don't know. Let me know if it has, because that's pretty sick. Good job to him.
But here were the major games here. Blaze Blue Central Fiction, third place, team tournament again. Seteru Kami Areba Hiro Kami Ari with Tamai-san using Hibiki and Yamashita with Izanami. And third place was Mekyo Shisui. Oh, really? With Kuike Laichi and Aisuke Carl. Because Mekyo Shisui is the group that made all those MvC2 combo videos.
What?
The really ridiculous ones. So I wonder, is that the same team?
I was just about to ask you to forego saying the team names, because I don't care. But
right.
All right, that's cool then.
That might actually be the same team. Okay. Fuzzy de Renraku Shimasu. Ronita with S and Moke with Relius. And first place was Golbeza with Iwashi, Ragna, and Fenrich, and Jin. So there you go. Guilty Gear, Exerd, Rev 2, and I will skip the team names.
Alright.
Basho with Jam, Cha-Cha-Cha with Kum, and Sabamisu with Bed. And then the other team was... Oh, they didn't even list that one. Tendo Karin with Takahara. Oh, no. I see what they did. Takahara with Ramathal, Ryon with Kai. Nidaime with Jack O. Second place was Random Button Abare. Sorry, I just read it. T5M7 with Leo, who was at EVO this year. Isamu with Venom. Taka with Slayer. And then first place, Ogawa with Zatu. Ruki with Dizzy. And Daru with Ino. So there you go.
Single M tournaments, may they die.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5, all tied for 5th place. Storm Kubo, Abigail, Uri with M. Bison, Raiketsu with Manat.
Sick.
5th place, Vanao with Balrog.
Sick.
I liked Raiketsu's Manat. I saw a little bit of that. 4th place, Kindebu with Akuma. 3rd place, Rebanira with M. Bison. 2nd place, Nishikin with Nakali, and first place Ponos Moke with Rashid.
All right, let's get out of this tournament. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, there was also, just so you know, Koime and Dengenki Buko, Fighting Climax, Koime and Bu, Dead or Alive, Singles, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Singles, EX Latest,
right,
Chaos Code, Arcana Heart.
I just wish that we didn't have to report on tournaments that had single elim.
You just have no interest in that.
I can't care.
You just don't think that there's any sort of validity to it at all whatsoever.
I just have no interest.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can see why they do single, because there's so many goddamn games at that event, but they really shouldn't do that. Like, a lot of those players flew from out of country to play one game and be eliminated, and that's it. You know, they literally play one game, eliminate, and then the singles play one game, eliminated, that's it. Like, I just feel like you just get so much more out of it, and it's just a much more accurate tournament. So, but I mean, how do you feel about 2 out of 3 versus 3 out of 5? Do you think that makes a big difference?
Do I think what now?
2 out of 3 versus 3 out of 5.
I think the biggest deal is having double elimination, but 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5 are both way better than 1 out of 1.
Right. So the improvement is like boom and then boom.
Yeah, definitely. Like but again, I think double elimination is the most important part. So.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, let's talk about what you were at this weekend.
Sure.
Which is, of course, the E-League Last Chance qualifiers for Injustice 2. So this is to get into basically the main E-League event. Last chance for players to make it in there. How many qualified?
Only the top 2.
Only the top 2. So that means in 7th place, Perfect Legend and Beyond Toxin did not make it.
Correct.
5th place, BXA Star Charger and Hara Rewind did not make it in. 4th place, RNG White Boy did not make it in.
Yep.
3rd place, Eris Nivik did not make it in. But in 2nd place, Circa Forever King is now into the E-League event. And 1st place, PXP, a Foxy Grandpa, has made it in.
Yeah, they're both very deserving, of course. They're both 2 of the best players in the world. I think that's cool.
I'm just happy because I know a Foxy Grandpa had trouble with the game at the start.
Yeah.
And it's really clicked for him now. He's been doing well for a while now.
Yes. So I think that's great. I'm really happy that he made it. He's from the UK, so that's really cool. You got the European contingent. I am happy as well that Forever King is there because he's been so good for so long. So I think that's great.
And but I hope he just Batmans people to death because that character.
That is basically all he does. Oh look, famous top tier counter picker Forever King. Almost exclusively mains Batman.
Right. He
there
doesn't
you
need
go.
Anybody else. He doesn't
there it is. The proof. He's a very good character. Nivik almost made it. Nivik got into there was no grand finals. Didn't matter.
Okay.
There was no prize
pool. So technically, Foxy Grandpa and Forever King tied, kind of.
I mean, Forever King lost once and Foxy Grandpa did not.
Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, Nivik got to winners finals, and then he played against Forever King in losers finals. So he had 2 chances to qualify, and neither one worked out for him. And his flight is ridiculous. He flies from Greece, which is where he's from, to the Middle East because it's cheaper to fly there first, then to the U.S. And with all of the layovers and like the bus rides and all of it together, it's 43 hours.
What?
Yep, it's 2 days. He travels for 2 days, and he didn't make it in the E-League. So I'm happy that Forever King is there. He's a cool dude, and I will enjoy having him. But
that sounds like a pain.
That sucks.
That is a pain.
That sucks. White Boy. I mean, I'm sad for that too. I feel like he's one of the best players in the world. He won't be there. It was really cool to watch Star Charger and Rewind. They both played really, really well. They're both good. Perfect Legend did great. I'm looking for, and I don't even see it. Finally, Slayer got 17th.
Whoa! What happened?
He got pieced out early.
Yeah, I see him way down there. Okay.
And then I think you got to go to page 2 for this. Let's see. Let's see where he is here. Biohazard got 25th.
Oh my god!
He got dunked.
What do you think that is? Do you think that means just the talent is getting that much stronger in the game?
Partly, but the other part is that he lost to Oki's, a Grod player. Nobody plays Grod. There's like 3 Grod players, and it's like it's not just that there are like 3 Grod players. It's that you cannot get experience against Grod unless you're playing like one of those very few, because the difference in level between them and anybody else playing that character is so big.
Right.
So if you don't have that, then you're going to be in trouble. But still, it went down to, I didn't watch it, but I heard it went down to the very final decision.
Oh, okay.
And in game number 5. So if that hadn't happened,
who knows, right?
Who knows?
I mean, but like it's also one of those situations that, like, you know how you were saying, but I always keep saying this, that whenever you run into a Fang in Street Fighter V in a tournament, you just got to assume that they're really good because why would you still be using that character, kind of in that situation? Yeah. So I imagine if you're running into a Grod, Yeah, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, and Okies is a good player. He's not unknown. He just doesn't travel very often. He's more of an online player mostly, but he's a known guy. He certainly played really well. He made it to winners finals of his pool. There were only 4 pools. There weren't that many people there.
Okay.
So he did really well. But
okay.
Anyway, that was the results there. Good tournament.
Cool. Well, that kind of just leads us right into the next topic. Do you want to take a break before we do that, though? Or do you want to just go into it? Let's just do it.
Let's talk about the ELEAGUE.
That's right. So this sets up ELEAGUE, and this sets up... how many players are going to be in there?
There will be 16 players
16
in Injustice
players
2's ELEAGUE.
So 14 were determined beforehand, and 2 were made it into the last chance qualifiers.
So the top 8 at the Pro Series finals, yes. Then the top 2 from the Latin American League.
Okay.
Then the top 2 from the Path to Pro, which was the European League.
Right, okay.
Then the top 2 from the Hometown Heroes, which was this like ongoing series of tournaments that happened where you like couldn't enter it if you were making top 8s at majors or something, whatever.
Is it? I heard one of the Latin America guys couldn't make it out because of visa issues. Right?
Correct. So Conqueror can't make it, which means that instead it's going to be Hey George.
Okay.
Who is a Joker Blue Beetle player.
Right, I remember.
So that's actually pretty sick.
Okay.
I'm happy about that. So it'll be Hey George and Killer Shinnok, who's from Brazil, Flash player, etc. From the Hometown Heroes is Emperor Nyx with Darkseid and Nubcakes with Batman. So you get New York and you get LA. Then from the Path to Pro, this is unfortunate. Both Russian players who got first and second place can't make it because of visa.
Oh.
Big bummer. So the third place gets to go Happy Pal, who's going to be cool to watch. He's kind of a flashy player.
Where's he from?
France.
Okay.
And then this is the blow-up.
Okay.
Fourth place probably cheated to get where he is.
What?
Probably cheated.
How?
So the guy who won is named Bambuka from Russia. And basically, he plays a set of characters. I forget which characters he plays, but he plays some characters. However, when this online tournament was happening, the characters being used were totally different. And they were being used at a way higher level than anybody had ever seen Bambuka play before. So he probably cheated.
Probably had some of his
He
friends.
probably had somebody come over and play on his account. So now, if that's true, and it probably is, he's going to come to ELEAGUE.
Exposed!
And just get pooped on. Oh, it's going to be horrible.
Wow.
It's going to be horrible.
And, I mean, are you guys going to call it out?
Oh, 100% I'm going to call it out. For sure, of course. It's absurd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't had any production meetings on that, but, you know, I'm the one with the voice, all right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure I'm going to say it. Because I think that's crazy. But it's a tough situation for everybody involved. Like, it's not certain that he cheated. Maybe he just was, like, all of a sudden a fantastic player of that character. He hadn't, like, that character didn't have any gear even, because, like, he had never used it before. You know what I mean? It's like very clear. But maybe it's real, so we'll see.
I'm surprised he wasn't just like, oh, I can't make it anymore. Like, unless he just wants a free trip to the U.S.
Allegedly.
Right? So.
Allegedly. We'll see.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And in getting fourth, he outplaced, I think it was Oslo D'Amazza, who's an Italian player, and interestingly enough, a law student. And he looked into, you know, what could he do here?
That's funny.
I don't think there's much recourse,
right.
but we'll see, man. We'll see. That's gonna be a blow up. Well, so then, from the last chance qualifier, you got Foxy and King, and then the Pro Series top 8. I think is probably the real meat of this.
Okay. Who are those players?
Those are the top 8 there. So that was Sonic Fox first place, then Samij second place, then Hayate, then Gross,
yes,
then Theo, then Dragon, then Tekken Master, and Honeybee.
Okay.
That is a really good lineup, and I mean, last chance quals, Foxy and King, those guys could go really, really far too. So those 10, I think that's going to be good.
So my question is, how is this seeded?
We'll see. I don't know.
Okay. So
It's
unknown
not clear.
so far.
It is
unknown. So we don't know what the first round matchups or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Do we know the format? Is it going to be 3 out of 5 double elimination bracket? Is it going to be
no.
pools? Is it going to be?
No.
Okay, so I'm not sure yet.
Not sure. But those 10, the people who made top 8, and then the 2 from Last Chance qualifiers, that's going to be, I think, the
that's the
beefiest part of
that's
it.
the meat of the tournament.
But I'm going to be interested to see what Nupcakes does, because Nupcakes has got, I think he got 9th at EVO. He's a really good player.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, hey George, Joker Blue Beetle, like you said. I mean, I want to
be cool to watch.
Because the thing is, we just talked about how Biohazard got beat by a Grodd, right? What if people don't know how to fight Joker or Blue Beetle? Could very well happen.
I think he's gonna go winless. He seems like a very nice guy. I've played against him online, and he's definitely a good player.
Okay.
But man, if 2017 Ultra David takes any games off you, that's tough. That's tough.
Damn.
That is not a strong competitor. All right, 2017 Ultra David. It's not a very good player. So.
Oh man.
We'll see, but it's gonna be interesting to watch. There's a lot of good players there, and a lot of different variety, a lot of different regions represented. Even among those, the sort of 10 who I think are probably going to be the most interesting to watch. There's a ton of character variety. There's a ton of regional variety. There's a ton of different play styles represented. So I'm pretty happy about that.
I'm gonna ask you the hard question.
Sonic Fox
over the field.
Yeah.
Really?
Over the field.
I was going to say Sonic Fox or the field, but you just Sonic Fox. That's it. Straight up, huh? Not even a tough question. No thinking necessary.
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay.
Certainly,
okay.
it's possible that he loses. You know, he's not Superman. He can lose. I would be very surprised.
So what would that bring him? He would bring him over 500,000.
I guess it would.
Like in only like the major tournaments too. Like we haven't even talked about all the small stuff.
Sure.
This guy has definitely made over $500,000 already in just fighting game events.
Pretty good. Congrats to Sonic Fox for winning ELEAGUE.
It's like when you say the number, you're like, wait, did I mean 50,000? Because it doesn't even sound right? $500,000.
I hear you.
So,
no, I of course he's the favorite. I think he's the prohibitive favorite. I feel like he's going to come into this, and he even tweeted about this. He was like, "Look, I'm putting everything else on hold. I'm just going to be practicing for ELEAGUE."
Right.
Because he got second place at Marvel this past weekend, and Canada Cup is this weekend.
Do we forget to change the title to this? Did we forget to update the title? Because people are asking about Watson right now.
Oh, I did update the title, but maybe you had started the broadcast too early.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, my bad.
Well,
sorry about that.
Yeah, well, I guess reset that in a bit. Anyway, so he could go to Canada Cup and try to get the stone there, right? Battle for the stones, etc. But that's not going to be the focus. It's just going to be Injustice. So if he really concentrates on it, I wouldn't expect him to lose. But we'll see.
Okay.
People want me to talk about the commentary situation. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
What's the situation with the commentary? Because I know, obviously, people wanted Ketchup and Mustard to be on there.
Yeah, that's basically
Darth Arma and stuff like that, right?
So, a lot of people wanted Mr. Aquaman, which I think all that would have been good. They went with Katana Prime and me, and then the previous ELEAGUE staff, which was Sajam, Tasty Steve, Rip, and Z. And so they're all back again. Sajam is great. I mean, he knows the game really well for sure. He commentated on the Injustice Pro circuit this year, so I don't think there's any concern there. But certainly, people were concerned about Steve, Tasty Steve, Rip, and Z. And I've been playing with Rip and with Steve online and then in person too when we were there in Atlanta this past weekend, and They know the game better than you might think, and they commentated at Last Chance Quals, and from what I've heard, they did pretty well, and I saw that they got some feedback that was, thanks for being there, pleasantly surprised, etc.
Oh, okay.
So cool. I'm happy about that. Z, I think, is gonna. He doesn't know the game very well, right? I don't think there's no surprise there, but I'm going to be playing with him. We're going to be training it up. So I hope to instill some of that. But on top of that, I think their thought process may have been, like, we want somebody who's not the expert. We want, like, the role of...
interesting.
This game certainly has a hardcore fan base, but like isn't as well known as like a Street Fighter or something.
Right?
So exactly, like asking the questions. I think that's the intention for his role.
Gotcha.
And to provide, I guess, whatever, be funny and stuff.
Right.
So,
but
yeah,
I mean, it also reminds me of kind of the situation in 2013 Evo. I think it was 13 when Melee came back and they threw me into top 8 for Melee. It's also just the experience factor, right? You have these people who have done E-League already. It's nice to bring back people who know kind of what to expect.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably a lot of it as well. So they just brought Z because he's used to the production. He's used to what's going on over there.
I'm sure you're right.
And then that way they can bring in you and Katana Prime. And maybe next time they'll expand onto a little bit more because now you and Katana Prime are the, Injustice knowledgeable, like, main guys there, right? And then they can bring on other people and stuff. But
I mean, there's no lack of experience on Ketchup and Mustard side. They did ESPN for IPS finals, and they've done TV for other stuff in the past. So it's not lack of experience generally. I think you're right that it's probably one that they just want the same guys.
Yeah,
they want the familiarity of that. E-League itself does.
Yeah, and Croton, I got a ton of flack for the Smash Brothers thing.
Yes,
everybody was super mad at me, and I was like, it's not my decision. I didn't want to do this, and I was like, next year I will 100% not do this. Like, and I am, it was interesting because like I tried to make it clear that this is exactly why it happened, and literally they just chose the only person who knew anything about Melee.
That's a true story. I remember that
at the time. So yeah.
Yeah, among people who had done it before.
Oh yeah, I studied a lot. I wanted to make sure I did not come in there. But, like, man, even nowadays, thinking back on it, where I was talking about Mango and Hungry Box and all these guys, like, I know so much more about them now. Like, back then, I was just like, okay, so this guy's good, and but now it's like, I know so much more, and it's cool. And frankly, honestly, I mean, I had to go through very similar stuff this weekend. So, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. So.
Yeah. Again, so Steve and Rip are definitely practicing up already. They have been. Steve has a good Robin and Batman. He's a legit player, and Rip was legit, and now is trying to work on getting back to that. I think. But yeah, Z we're going to be working with.
Okay.
I certainly get like community wanting ketchup and mustard and stuff.
And
I definitely get it.
They had the response post, and they were just like it's cool, like we would have loved to have been there, but we totally get it. So it's not one of those situations where it's just like people were robbed or anything like that. So hopefully he's okay with it. But
we'll see. We'll certainly do our best.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I think Ketchup and Mustard are fantastic casters, basically. But didn't they go to something else this weekend or? Were they not at something
this weekend?
Else? Yeah, because I swear
they've been doing Quake stuff.
Was it Quake? Okay.
I don't know about this weekend.
Because I swear I saw Tempest Rob take a picture of one of them, but it might not have been him. It might have been somebody else.
I don't know, man.
So
there's a lot of people who look exactly just like the two people.
Right. Okay. Well, anything else that you wanted to talk about the E-League preview? All right. Since the question was so damn easy. Sonic Fox. Who do you think has the best chance to upset him right now?
A better question.
Yes. Who do you name two people that you feel like have the ability that could take this tournament and be an upset over Sonic Fox?
Dragon.
Definitely
Dragon.
I mean, like, honestly,
I was gonna maybe Theo.
The only way that I could see something like if somehow Samij avoids Sonic Fox in the bracket, I feel like Samij can win this. Like, let's say Sonic Fox goes into loser's bracket early on, and then he loses in loser's finals, and Samij makes it all the way to winner's finals. I feel like Samij could take this. Because I swear every tournament he goes to, like, Sonic Fox is the only person he loses to.
Dude, I'm with you. If Sonic Fox somehow goes out early, if he gets, like, the worst intestinal cramps of his life, and he just can't think, and he forgot to wear the tinfoil hat that day, and the government's just pumping all the thoughts in his head, and somehow he loses, then I feel like all bets are off, because certainly among the rest, I think I would identify Dragon, Theo, and Samij as probably like the most likely to do the best. But any of those 8 guys, Samij, Hayate, Gross, Theo, Dragon, Tekken Master, Honeybee, Foxy Grandpa, King, any of those guys I feel like could win. Like
in the same way if Sonic Fox is gone. And they go into losers, they go through winners, and Sonic Fox loses in losers finals. Any one of those guys could win at this point. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The furry hat actually is made out of tin foil. It's there so that his thoughts are not, intruded upon by the federal government. I thought everybody knew that.
It's pretty powerful, actually. What was interesting, though, is at EVO, he had to prove a point. He had to take it off to show that the government could not control him.
Sometimes, the thoughts just start bouncing around in your own head. So if you have the tinfoil hat on, they can't escape. They're just in there, You gotta let them out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let them out.
Okay. Well, you want to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk about some DBFZ and actually a lot of really kind of interesting small topics that I think that I'd like to talk about. So
let's do it.
We'll be right back, guys. We'll be right back.
Yes. Welcome back to the Tuesday. Let's talk now about this guy.
Yep.
Up there.
Ding.
DBFZ stuff.
That's
a lot of stuff.
They announced all sorts of information on its release, etc., etc. So it has been revealed that this game is going to be coming out on January 26th, 2018. So when they said it was coming early 2018, they meant early 2018.
Actually real, hopefully.
Right, and which might even mean the game is done, right? Because it takes like 3 months certification to send it in or something like that. So I think the game is pretty much ready to go.
How about that?
But included in that information, I think, is that it's going to be 24 characters at the start. And then there's going to be a season pass being sold for $35 that will give you access to 8 new DLC characters during the course of the next year or whatever a season comes out to. There is also going to be a collector's edition that you can buy that does not contain the season pass. And therein lies where a lot of people are frustrated. I have heard a lot of frustrations here. Now, I wrote a giant series of tweets talking about DLC and my thoughts on the whole entire thing.
Okay.
A lot of people are frustrated by this. $35 for a season pass.
Yeah.
Which is the most expensive season pass so far.
Right.
For out of all the games, for fighting games and everything like that. What's your take on this whole entire thing right now?
Somehow I missed the fact that the collector's edition does not get it. It's separate even still.
Yeah, so you have to buy collector's edition and the season's pass.
Major bummer.
So you get the cool Goku statue, but
right?
Like you don't get the season pass with the collector's edition.
Right. Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, you don't, I guess, need to buy the characters. I don't know. It's the same thing as with all DLC. You don't need to get it. It's like theoretically nicer that you can pick and choose which parts of the game you do get, the parts that you care about. That's it. $35 is quite steep.
Right.
I really feel like that's pushing the bounds of what is acceptable.
Because that's $95 total right there.
It's a grip of change, and it's for how many characters? 8, I think. Right.
8. Yes. Yeah.
So
it's less than 5 per character, which is standard. $5 for a character is fairly standard, unless you go to MvCI and Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, and then it's $8 per character, right? So 8 times 8 would have been 64, but thankfully it's not that much. So
true. Yeah, I still feel like $35 is like on the higher end of things, but it's not great. I wish that we didn't have the current economics of DLC. Rather not have that, but
would you rather
we have them?
Would you rather pay $90 right away, knowing that you're gonna, like, if they just sold it $90, here's all 32 characters? Like, if they waited, or if the characters are done, or whatever like that, I don't know.
Wait, say that again?
Because the thing about it is, like, in my opinion, I feel like that, the cost of games obviously have not gone up with inflation, right? Especially for people who bought games back in the Super Nintendo era.
Yeah.
Right, we were paying $60 back then.
Horse-sized duck.
And that's like $97 now, right? So if we were paying that much back then, I feel like $30 DLC kind of evens out. And so I expect it to happen. But would you rather have it so that instead of doing this DLC route, that they just charge $90 for games and for
sure not.
DLC?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not. No, I think that'd be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
I would of course rather have it so that people can pay for which parts of the game they care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the other thing. A lot of people have told me that they were particularly mad because we don't know what's in that season pass. We don't know which characters are in there, et cetera, et cetera.
That's absurd. I was not like the first time that some developer did that. I think I was like not mad about it. I was like, "Whoa, let's wait and see."
Right. Well, I mean, Capcom tried it, and then all 6 characters got leaked.
Yeah.
Season 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like NRS has done and stuff, so
okay.
it's happened. But having seen it now a few times, I think it sucks. It's stupid to ask somebody to pay money for something that they don't know what they're getting.
But
that doesn't make any good sense.
But you don't have to buy the season pass right away. You can wait until all the information comes out.
Well,
right?
you can wait until part of the information has come out. Like,
exactly.
But presumably it would be rolling information.
Right.
And so now you know you want this one character.
Right.
Cool. Should I get the DLC? Like, should I pay more for this one? Or should I just get the season pass?
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's a silly decision to have to make. Mm-hmm. So I just really just want to know what is being bought. I mean, that seems like a pretty reasonable ask.
Yeah, I don't mind DLC so much because, like I said, I think it's kind of like a necessary evil just because of the rising production costs and stuff like that. And you don't have to buy it right away. Yeah. You can wait and all this information. Having said all that, I'm tired of this stupid rollout information.
Yeah, that's
just
stupid.
You know what? When Street Fighter Arcade Edition comes out, just tell me all the characters in Season 3. Just tell me. Like, when Season 1 got leaked, didn't make L.I. Joe go any less crazy when he saw Urien at the end of the Ibuki preview. Like, he just saw Urien fist, and he still went nuts. Like, people are still going to get hype about these trailers, regardless of whether you know they're there or not.
Especially for Dragon Ball, man.
Yeah, right?
For sure people are going to be hype regardless.
Just let us know, and then you just be like, I can't wait to see how he plays. I can't wait to see it. And then that's good enough, right? You know what I mean? Then the character trailer that's revealed will get people hype enough. And just knowing who the characters are, I think, I'm tired of the hidden character thing. Let's just... And then plus another thing, too, is they always get leaked. They always get... That information is always going to get leaked. It's always stealing your thunder. So forget it. Put it out there right now. The trailers can't leak if they're not even made, right? So, like...
Trailers can leak sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But at least it'll only be like 2 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
Or just things that weren't ever supposed to go out at all.
Yeah.
Ever. But, they just need to stop doing that. They just need to stop doing that. So, okay.
I agree with you.
But I mean, I know I saw a lot of people. They're like, "Well, you just lost my money, Bandai Namco and stuff like that." And I think that's too much of a. That's a silly reaction because you just can't find AAA costing games like this that aren't doing season passes, that aren't doing these kind of things, and this game is obviously made with a lot of love.
Oh,
this game is definitely being everything that you want out of Dragon Ball, like, it's going in there. And it's funny because honestly, like, I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to say that because they said those things about Capcom games now. Like, I tweeted about this DLC stuff and all these people were like, yeah, it's not great, but here's it. Like, dude, I had so many well-debated arguments and, like, just good conversation with people about the issue. If I said anything during Marvel, it would have just been like the biggest shitstorm ever. Like, everyone would have gotten mad at me.
To be expected. No big deal.
Oh, man. But, I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, I just feel like this is a necessary evil. And especially with fighting games, I feel like fighting games, you actually get more out of a character than you do with most games DLC. Like, DLC can give you this tiny little campaign that's like 4 hours long, but a character can be like, if you're into it enough, you could definitely get like 50 hours out of a character or something like that. So.
I mean, I've gotten thousands of hours out of some characters in fighting games, literally.
Right.
I'm sure literally at this point.
Exactly.
But
but I'm the tiny minority. Like the statistically insignificant minority. I know that.
Right.
Most people who buy fighting game DLC are not going to be putting that much time.
Yeah,
Some, but not that much. So it is more like for them buying DLC in other games where they're not going to use it forever because they're not going to do that in this game either. Hardcore FGC types are not the big selling area. What is that called? Number of people who buy things, trade money for
Target
stuff?
audience?
Target audience.
There you go. Okay.
In Injustice, Hellboy is going to be coming out eventually. They announced that. And so is Atom.
Yes.
Right? ATOM.
Yes.
Atom. Stupid American English and inability to differentiate between atom and atom. Stupid. What are we doing? We're killing this language. But, I talked with some people this weekend at the Last Chance qualifier, and they are super hyped for Hellboy.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Even though they know it's Hellboy.
Right.
He's coming out eventually.
Exactly.
They know that. But it's probably Atom first because they've already had an Atom trailer.
Right.
So they have to wait. They don't know how he's going to play. And so we were all talking, what if he is a grappler? He's got the big hand. Maybe he's just a puncher. Maybe he's going to have a little shotgun. He's the zoner. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
And that's the thing, too, right? Like, even with Atom, right? Like, the silhouettes, like, one guy was tiny and everyone's like, that's probably Atom. So, like, everyone knew it was Atom. And even that, when the trailer came out, I got excited. I thought he looked super cool, right? So, I just, like, if you're going to do it, just, like, if you want to do it kind of like how MK did it. Like, Riding Hat, like, Black Manta, Atom, it's obvious it's them. Just be like, who are these characters? And, like, use, like, the worst opaque value.
Blanca with the hairs,
use the worst opaque value possible so that you can clearly see it if you just adjust it. Because the people who will care will go and find out.
Right.
The people who are casual will just look at it and be like, oh, cool. But then, like, you know what I mean? It's just like the people, like, let them just know because they're the ones who are going to be spending the money anyway. And I would rather know. I would rather know ahead of time. If I knew that Sodom was coming, like, in November, I would be like, whatever. I'm still excited for that. I'd be excited to see the Sodom trailer, I'd be excited for that, so.
I hear you, and I agree. With the exception that I think Sodom is probably useless within the game.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a lot of things different with him. They're going to have to do a lot of things.
Because his character is already in the game, like, several times.
I wouldn't mind it if they made him, like, Alpha 1 grappler style, which is... Because Alpha 1 grappler style, he was different because he had massive startup on his SPD, but it reached really far.
So, Birdie...
Right, it's like Dolphin Dive
Birdie,
stuff,
Dolphin Dive.
right, but actually based around that idea because he also has good offense. So he's trying to train you to block so that he can sneak in the SPD like that.
So
and I kind of like
Birdie,
that
EX
idea.
Bullhead, or EX Dolphin.
It's not quite the same, I think. It's very similar, trust me, because I was thinking about that too. I was like, yeah, Dolphin is kind of the same kind of a thing, but that's not the crux of his gameplay. You know what I mean? I don't think the Dolphin Dive is the basis of his gameplay, and I think you could do that with Sodom, but I would not be opposed if they made him a completely different character so that he had a stance change, so that he went from size to katana and like did different things like that. Like if they just took away his grapplerness and just made him fight like Final Fight, like he just runs into you and stuff like that. Like I would 100% not be opposed to that at all because there's too many damn grapplers in this game right now, and Street Fighter V does not need another grappler. So
I agree.
As a grappler player,
I can't believe I said that. I agree. We do not need more grapplers in Street Fighter V. Wow.
Yeah,
what a world. I can't believe I said that.
There's too many right
there
now.
Are.
There's way too many. So much to the point where a character like Alex just doesn't serve a purpose.
Why is he in there?
Yeah, Alex is like the number one. Why is he in there? Because obviously he's the lowest tier, and everybody else does what he does, but better.
Even when he was announced, remember, I feel like we had the same conversation before he came out. But Mika's already in there.
Yeah,
Laura's already in there. Why? Zenku's already in there. Birdie's already in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is he in here?
Yep.
And we never found out.
Yeah, let's get some zoners in there.
We'll never know.
Let's get some zoners in there, please. But in any case...
Anyway, what do we do? What else about
Dragon
PvE?
Ball is, as I said, January 26th. There's going to be some online modes. You'll be able to fight in circle match mode, where up to 8 players can enter into the room and fight against each other with up to 4 fights happening simultaneously. There's a world match mode allowing players to choose between casual and ranked matches. That's standard. There is the special bundle, the Ultimate Edition. They'll get the pre-order bonuses, which are like an anime music pack featuring 11 songs from the show, as long as a commentator voice pack, which I'm sure is similar to how Guilty Gear you can change the characters doing the menu announcements and stuff like that. So I think that's probably what that is in there, which I still think is amazing because May can't pronounce Alfeld.
That's right, yeah.
Latest thing
yeah,
ever,
that's hilarious.
But the pre-orders are up now on PC and PS4, so go ahead and grab that if you have the chance. And another bit of FGC news that I think would be really kind of interesting to talk about, especially from your viewpoint, just from your law knowledge and all these kind of things like that. I don't know if there's any implications that you have more than anyone else, but it was just recently announced that Echo Fox has now partnered up with the New York Yankees. So the Yankees, a lot of sports teams like the Miami Heat have teamed up with esports organizations, but Yankees is a big one, right?
Sure.
I mean, because Yankees is just like rolling in the dough, right?
For
They just
sure.
have money all over the place. But this is, for me, from my standpoint, it's a twofold thing, right? One, it's Yankees. Holy crap. Like,
Okay.
that to me is like, let's have the Lakers get involved with one of these things, right? But two, that also, to me, is really a great sign. I feel like that Rick Fox has just been doing an amazing job with this team because he's been really actively promoting it. You see him, tweeting pictures with Sonic Fox all the time, and he's always talking about how this is legit and everything like that. And I just feel like he's really done a great job building this brand to be picked up by something like the Yankees. But my question now is just to you is like, what are some sort of legal implications or business implications? Do you feel like that this is a good step? Do you feel like this is a bad step?
No, I think it's great.
Okay.
I don't know what the agreement between the two parties looks like at all, but I think it's cool because more money in the scene is nice. But obviously, that's not just for fighting games. Echo Fox has fighting game players, but they do other things too. So that's going to be, I assume, spread around.
So, it says that the partnership sees the baseball team allying with Vision Esports, a company that holds majority share in franchises like Twin Galaxies, Vision Entertainment, and Echo Fox.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
There you go.
No disclosure on the size of the investments or
Sure.
anything like that. So
It's the thing to do right now for sports teams, for people in sports. A bunch of teams have gotten involved. Football clubs in Europe are doing it. Baseball clubs, baseball teams here, basketball teams here. People who were in, they played basketball or they were owners or whatever.
right.
There's a lot of sports into video games going on right now, and on the one hand, I like that a lot because it's good to have more parties involved, more money involved, more players hopefully can do it full time,
and found like solid foundations, right? None of this like this team. Oh, we can't pay our players anymore.
Right. Hopefully, no more of that. So all that is great. The other side of it is that it represents what I'm pretty sure is a bubble. I'm pretty sure it's a bubble. We'll see how it ends up. But esports has been here before a couple of times. There have been big bubbles burst in pre Street Fighter 4, like at least twice. Not really with fighting games involved, but it's happened before. I just don't see the revenue being possible to sort of make it worthwhile financially in the near future. In the long-term future, I do think that is probably the case because so many people are going to be watching and playing video games and esports, and fewer and fewer people are going to be doing the same with sports. That's the trend so far among people who are 25 and younger by the polling that's been done so far. So I would expect that to continue. So I think long-term it's probably fine, but short-term, the thing that I'm most worried about, people were talking about it in the chat, is the Overwatch League.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that, because I don't know what's going on with the Overwatch League. I don't know what's going on with that situation.
So, Overwatch is a very fun game, but it came out at this point, a year and a half ago? It's been out for a while. and their esports league has not yet officially started. In fact, the teams are still being announced. The bidding process was $15 to $20 million per team. They had to spend to get in there, and that's the bidding process. Who knows what other costs are involved? Probably a lot. It's probably a ton of money, just a ton of money being spent to get in to the Overwatch League, and it's done geographically. So there's like an LA team. I think there's a couple of LA teams actually. There's like a New York team. There's like a Seoul.
So they're trying to set it up like sports, basically.
Like sports,
yeah.
And they're giving their teams hilarious names like the Fuel, and the Shock, and the Valiant. Can't even say it and keep a straight face. Holy crap! Wow, the Valiant.
The Shock, the Fuel.
The I think the Dallas Fuel, if I recall correctly, and the LA Valiant. Woo! Anyway, so they've spent all this money. There's no like proven success for Overwatch in terms of esports.
Right.
People like playing the game, and a lot of people do play it, but not many people watch it. It does not get the kind of viewers that you would expect, considering how many people play it. And it doesn't have like some established like League of Legends history. Not even like fighting games do. It doesn't have any of that. It's all speculative, and people are saying that Overwatch Blizzard is creating an in-game spectator mode that will make it great. It'll be everybody will love watching it, but nobody knows that.
Right. I
don't. Maybe they do.
It sounds
Teams
like
do. I hope
it sounds like Blizzard is putting a lot into this and into a game that, like I know a lot of people were mad at like Marvel when they wanted to announce a Marvel League before the game came out, and Justice announced the Injustice League before the game came out. But I feel like it's different because like that dedication is like their marketing budget. What Blizzard is doing with Overwatch, this is not marketing, but this is like you are going to ruin some people's lives if this does not go right budget. You know what I mean? Because 15 million?
More like 20 million.
20 million to get your team?
Million.
And I know, like, didn't they turn down, like, some more established teams for some other teams?
That League's been doing that.
Riot's been doing that. Okay.
Well, that's not true. Actually, yeah, there have been some cases in Overwatch, although, again, that it hasn't been an esport before. They're making it. So there's a lot of unknowns.
So someone subscribe. If you could just read this message out for them. From Milafune.
Aha! I have noticed you.
There you go. Shout out to Milafune. Thank you for the subscription.
So we'll see. There's so that amount of money, I just feel like can't be anything but a bubble. Like that can't be real.
Especially for a game that doesn't have that esports part established.
Not
yet.
established.
Not established. Yeah.
So what I do worry about is that will blow up badly enough that teams like the Yankees will say, "Hold on, we got into this thing. It's clearly not working out."
Right.
Look at poor whoever got involved, the Cavs or the Miami Heat or somebody owns an Overwatch league. So a couple of NBA teams do. They got hosed, so we better get out of here. This is not good for us. That's what I worry about. That's what I worry. I'm not worried about the fighting game community being like too big for its britches because it's not. Like we're pretty fundamental.
Yeah, and
we're basically built on many years of grassroots stuff.
Yeah, I mean, again, if this burst happens, fighting game community goes back to being at the Mandalay Bay.
For sure,
right? I mean,
absolutely right.
Like, it's literally not like, hey, investors, here's a bunch of, like, investors like, hey, Evo, here's a bunch of money. Now you can afford Mandalay Bay. No, Evo is doing it on its own. It's like legit, like it pays for itself kind of a situation.
So we're not in such an assy position, but we do stand to lose the potential benefits of, hey, having Echo Fox and the Yankees involved can probably do some players some good.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
It hurts the ability for people like Justin and like those guys, and even for commentators to try to do this as a career.
Sure,
right?
Yeah, commentators, tournament organizers, and all the sort
productions,
of
production guys. Yeah,
there's a lot of people who could do better, but may not if the esports bubble blows up and big investors don't want to get involved in anything video games. So that's my concern. But I certainly like the idea of like the Yankees getting involved with Echo Fox. I think that sounds really cool. I just feel like, man, really $20 million, and you ended up calling it the LA Valiant. What are you doing? I mean,
Overwatch, Blizzard required that the teams who were investing not use their established esports team names. So
really?
Yes.
What?
Yes, it's maximum weird, dude. So the team that is now the Valiant, they're Immortals. That's their
So they couldn't have been called
team.
the LA Immortals.
No. Oh, and they got extra hosed because they didn't get back into... Riot didn't allow them into their League of Legends franchising thing, even though they've had a successful League of Legends team for some years now. They actually had a really good team that took care of its players really well. They got booted out of there, in part, rumors say, because they were doing Overwatch. But Overwatch didn't even let them call themselves Immortals. They're so screwed.
So I mean, is that really just that Riot's like, oh, you teamed up with Blizzard?
I mean, that's the rumor. You know,
okay. I mean, that's the tinfoil hat theory that as soon as it happened, everyone's like, I bet you it was this.
It was
right?
reported. I mean, there's like reporting on it that's like sources say.
Oh, well, yeah, sources also had that's why I put out that crazy tweet.
I mean, you never know, but that's what the reporting is. So all that stuff is mega crazy, and again, these people are spending giant amounts of money. So I feel like it's probably going to burst at some point.
Yeah, Peter0611 asks if we want to discuss sexual harassment in esports because we both retweeted an article. We've talked about it a lot before.
That's true.
We have one episode fairly recent where we brought it up again and talked about it again. So I don't know if it's necessarily for us to bring it up because we're just going to be repeating a lot what was said there. You know, that episode was, in response to stuff like what happened with Toffee and everything like that.
That's right.
So, I mean, look, it's bad. It sucks. Guys, grow up, please. Like, stop having this stupid thing happen,
Man, I was so mad when that article included... So, the woman who talked about it being from a ton of different sources. Randos, players, organizers, team owners, some lawyer. She mentioned some esports player. And I was like... I know the 4 esports lawyers. There's like half a dozen.
Oh,
like,
man.
Which one of them? It wasn't me. I know. I don't know which one it was. And that's worrying to me.
Yeah.
Which one of like the couple of... I think a couple of my friends, Like, is it one of them? It wasn't me. So, I don't know, dude. That's crazy times. Times.
A lot of that's obviously coming out also because of like the what happened in Hollywood and everything like that. That's kind of just started this giant wave of all the people. And it's funny too because like someone tweeted out there like it's pretty like there's like very few women in esports who have actually not tweeted out Me Too. Kind of a situation,
sure. Yeah.
And he was like, it should be shocking to people, and I was like, just from all the people that I personally know, like it's shocking to me that anyone would find it shocking. You know what I mean? It's like that's how bad it is. Like I don't, and this is not even just like someone hit on you kind of thing. Like the stories that I hear that all the women have had to go through that I know in gaming spaces is ridiculous. Like literally, like how could you even possibly think that? Like what is the guy? Like even think like I don't even want to like repeat some of the stories just because like it's not my story to tell, right?
Sure.
So it's not my story to tell. But like there's just some that you read and you're just like why would you even think that? I don't know. It's crazy. So anyways.
I mean it's happened to me, not in such an egregious way, but well sometimes. There's definitely I've been groped by randos. That has happened, and hit on super weirdly by both guys and girls. And I know from having talked with a couple of other people that I'm not the only commentator who has run into that. So I'm sure it's happened to other people too. I know it's happened to a couple of top players.
Yeah.
I know it has. So it's weird. Yeah, that was back when I was working out more. I'm looking at myself on this video screen right now, and I'm like, oh my god.
I'm wearing black, so there you go.
I need to do some work.
That is the goal right there. So, oh man, okay.
Anyway, yeah, it has happened. Well, there was one last thing that I wanted to mention about the esports. Oh yeah, somebody said that they would be okay with the esports bubble bursting because they don't like the sort of commentator-driven / maybe story-driven, maybe
I forget. I scrolled up and I couldn't find it. But not player driven is the point. They don't like that side of esports where it's not about the players and tournaments. And I am with you to a very large degree. So if esports gets blown up and reforms itself, then I think it would be important to try to make sure that is what happens. But I mean, look, James, you and I, and basically everybody in the FGC has been telling everybody else in esports since forever that the way to do this thing well is to have the grassroots do it from the ground up. Literally for 10 years, we've been having this conversation. I feel like the first time I ever talked about it was like in 2010, like in early Street Fighter 4 days. Somebody from esports was like, "Hey, you guys should get some big investor in here." This
all came up with MLG when they tried to pick up they tried to pick up FGC, and I was like, no. I was super against it.
For sure. So in those intervening years, the FGC has built via grassroots. We have people who are all endemic, more or less. There is certainly some outside money, but the people actually involved, even from those outside money organizations, they hire FGC people to like dole out the cash that they, that it's basically all FGC. So we're in a great position, and we've, I think, done a pretty good job of maintaining it as a player-driven thing, as a tournament-first thing.
So, I mean, I don't know if people notice this, but like my commentary, even in the last year and a half, has shifted very, very much into players. Like, I'm just trying to tell stories of players as much as possible. That's why I focus so much on things like Mena RD's attitude between games, or I talk about how like what people, even this weekend at Tetris, in the grand finals, one player went ahead against the favorite by a lot, still lost. The next game they had a close game and lost. And my comment before the third match was like, man, you had this giant lead and you lost, and then now you're tied and you lost. Like, at this point in time, what are you thinking at this point? Like, I cannot win. Like, your brain is so messed up. And, that's the kind of thing that I like to focus on. I like to focus on the stories of the players, on their psychology, on what they're thinking. Because, to me, it's always been about that. Even when I made EVO trailers. If you watch the EVO trailers, it was all game footage, and then it slowly kept shifting towards more focus on the players, to the point where the last trailer I made sure to record everybody's face on a green screen, so I could green screen them back there and do that. My blah is better. Like, I literally made sure to do that so I could show the players in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, it's always about the players. Like,
I'm with you. That's certain. That's the background, the basis of what we do.
As much as I want to commentate everything, and I would love to from a financial standpoint, I would rather that we be replaceable.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? I would
100%.
rather that we be replaceable, because we are not as important as the players.
Entirely agreed. Entirely agreed. But as we've been doing it that way, the whole time, people in the rest of esports, because I've continued to have these conversations, as I go to various events and whatnot, why don't fighting game people get more outside funding? Why don't you guys go look for some, major investments? Why don't you get some angel investors and rain down money on you guys? And that's what I say. This needs to be a ground up thing. I don't want to have some crazy inverted pyramid that can tip anywhere. I want the solid stuff. I want to make sure it can last.
Yeah.
But that is not how basically any other esport ever did it.
This is why I always make that comment. If the investors go away, we go back to the Mandalay Bay.
Yep.
And the only reason why that happened is because we have done this through grassroots methods. And so I don't want any big money company to jump in there. And the reason why I'm okay with, Red Bulls and ESLs jumping in now is because I've said it back then, when we merged with MLG, if we had merged in like 2010, MLG was more important to us. We were the beneficiaries. Nowadays, something like ESL and like ELEAGUE and stuff like that, they're the beneficiaries our popular. They're trying to get in on us. We are holding the cards.
I'm with you.
And it's a very big, different standing point.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like if ELEAGUE came and was like, you know what, you have to do it this way, then we could just be like, you know what, well, we're not going to support you. We're just going to go back to Evo Mandalay Bay. We're fine, you know? So, like...
I totally hear you, man.
That's why I like how we're going. I think we have a much more solid foundation.
Definitely we do. Definitely we do. But, again, that's not how other games went. And because of what they are doing and have done... I think there's going to be a big bubble. So. Alrighty, man up.
Forgot to change this to fighting game news. All right, let's just talk about. It
wasn't really anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about fighting game stuff. Let's talk about cool fighting game stuff here. All right. So some kind of cool events that are coming up. If you guys remember, there was the Mastercup for Tekken, which is the tournament that has thousands of players in the 5v5 tournaments that take place in Japan. That is coming back. It is coming back on November 25th.
Ooh.
So, yeah, last year there was a few thousand players. I thought it was like, I think I had it as either number 1 or number 2, my favorite event from last year. And it is coming back again this year. Again, that will be on November 25th. I am excited for this.
They already have 1,000 players registered for the event. And we're a month away.
Yeah, 190 teams. That's a 5-man team. So that's 190 times 5. So that's 950 right there, right? So they're just right there. Dang.
Impressive.
So I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be really cool. Oh, dude. Okay, so Markman's in chat.
Hey.
And says he'll be on their commentary with Tasty Steve and Giuna.
Wow, shout outs to Giuna.
Yeah, I know.
How's it? Man, that guy...
What is a Capcom commentator doing on there?
Oh, boy. Capcom Giuna. I feel like it was like 2 years... It couldn't have been longer than 2 or 3 years ago when Giuna was like so anti-esports.
Dude,
that was yesterday.
And he hated Capcom so much.
He hated Capcom.
Capcom is shit.
What was
Street
that
Fighter
about?
5 is shit. And here he is. But
I feel like that was yesterday.
I'm telling you, Markman,
Whatever.
I'm totally down to do some Tekken commentary too. I'm totally down. I think I'm up there with Giuna. I think I can do it.
I think you probably are.
I think I can do it the same way with Giuna.
Give my man a try. Why? Why not? Why not?
Definitely do this.
Because he's not just a Capcom player, because he plays Guilty Gear sometimes? Is that why? Probably is why. James getting the shaft over there.
Yeah, exactly. I can totally do it, dude. I am totally down for it. I'm totally down for it. So,
yeah, that wasn't even years ago, right? Wasn't that like actually the start of this year? I feel like his. But hey, whatever, man.
I love Giuna. Okay, I'm just giving him shit. I love the guy.
Dude.
I love the guy. Giuna's an awesome guy. I like him. I like him.
For sure, man.
I'm just totally just teasing him right now. So
yeah, I'm half teasing.
But Mastercup is coming up next month, and that is going to be super sick. It's going to be super exciting. Like I said, last year I thought it was the one of the best events that all year long. So I'm looking forward to this. It was hype, really well done production, etc., etc. So, also speaking of Evo, the Evo. I mean, I hate doing this announcement of an announcement, but Wizard did tweet out that the Evo trailer will be coming out this week. So the Evo trailer. So this is the first trailer. Usually, this first trailer just announces location and date. And then around December, January time is when we find out about the games. So right now, I'm sure that this is just going to be date. This is just going to be location, so we can all start planning ahead. So we don't need any sort of GoFundMe drives to get you to Evo. So you can start saving now.
That would be nice.
Someone says it's actually like in 5 hours they're going to release it. Why would they release it in 5 hours? That seems like a really terrible time to release it at like 1 a.m. Oh, today he said it was coming in 24 hours. Okay, so it might be within the next day that trailer is coming out.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Let's see. What else do I have?
Yeah, Fight of Gods, Evo Sunday. Sick.
God's Evo Sunday. That'd be the greatest thing ever.
It was basically there last time.
Just game news here. Tekken 7, speaking of Tekken 7, gets more NJPW content. If you remember, King, if you put on 3 certain pieces of armor, like clothing, then he would do like the move of one of the famous wrestlers in Japan. Which actually is his counter hit towards neutral too. Like if you counter hit it, he does it anyway. And so it's like it just gets turned into his critical, his critical art, or his super, I should say. Rage art.
Thank you.
My bad.
Thank you.
It's Rage art. So.
Jeez.
Okay. But this is all for Lars, apparently. So another character is going to get outfits and stuff like that. So apparently Lars will be able to get a new Rage art if you put on all that stuff, supposedly. So there you go.
Cool.
Also, Injustice 2.
Yeah.
It's announced to be on PC.
The biggest news of the day. I can't believe that we've waited this long, because this is, to me, the most important news today. Man, finally. Just this past weekend, right, I was playing, I brought a PS4 and a game setup to ELEAGUE Last Chance Quals. And so Tasty Steve and Rip and I were grinding out until like 2 in the morning. And we were complaining so much about how we couldn't just bring our laptop. Just bring a laptop, and then let's play some video games. We had to bring this whole backpack with a PS4 from who knows how long ago. Who knows? PS4 has been around forever. I don't know. It's ancient technology. Let's just use our PCs. So
I tried to install Tekken on my PC, and I don't have enough disk space.
Boy.
I like separating my game stuff from everything else. I don't know. I just like it. I like it. It's more convenient to me.
What if you separated it by putting it on a separate hard drive?
Yeah. I would have to buy another hard drive.
Indeed you would.
Actually, I'm more leaning towards buying another computer, period. So I can work upstairs. So I can do all the editing and everything upstairs. So,
cool, man.
But that's just an expensive thing to have to do. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
That is the biggest problem. Other problem too with PCs as well is that it is an expensive process. It is definitely an expensive.
For sure,
process.
yeah. The amount of money that you need to go in on it in the start is certainly more. However, it lasts a long time, and you can upgrade it basically ad infinitum. So
yeah, but that has not gone well for me most of the time. So every time I've tried to upgrade things, I've been met with disasters. Let's put it that way. So
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's awesome, and it starts tomorrow.
The beta. There's a beta.
The beta starts tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo Switch had a recent update that has added GameCube controller functionality, which is interesting. So that little device that came out for the Wii U that let you plug in the GameCube controllers now works on the Switch.
For what reason?
Nobody knows.
For what reason?
Could they possibly be making a Melee HD? I mean, that's what a lot of people are praying for.
For sure, that's true.
I mean, for me, I think it would just be nice to have another control pad that I could actually use. Maybe that way I could just play on the Switch with a control pad if I wanted to. Because I'll tell you this right now, like, it's nice to be able to pull the controllers off, but I swear that there is lag because they're wireless controllers. Like, if I play Puyo Tetris and I play it on the thing, I have infinitely less misdrops than when I'm playing
that makes sense to me.
Off of it. So it'd be nice to have a pad. So
makes sense to me. Yeah, when patched Melee ends up dropping, it will be great. When Sakurai redoes Melee balance. Oh man, that would be the funniest and worst thing ever to happen.
They're just gonna make it so that Fox and Falco can jump cancel their gunshot now too. Because it definitely was not good.
Invincible gunshots, please.
Yes, invincible gunshots, exactly. God.
Patch, man. Oh, that'd be so mean. That would be the meanest thing ever.
If they patched it, you think?
Yeah.
No, I think it would, dude.
No, it'd be terrible. For sure.
Just because they would do it wrong, right?
No, I mean, even if it was great, people will be mad. There's no way around it.
Right, yeah.
There's no way around it.
It's true.
There's nobody who would be cool with all the changes. That happened in our own community. You know it.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
You know it.
I don't know of any game that
HDR was not some imbalanced mess. It was not my preferred game, but wasn't terrible. But man, it was terrible. That's how it went.
I mean, honestly, the characters changed their playstyle a lot.
Yeah, they did.
A lot of characters had their playstyle completely morphed.
It's not what I would have done, that's for sure.
Right. So I mean, like, if Melee HD, honestly, like, let's say I was in charge of rebalancing it, right? Heaven forbid. But like, even if I was the one that went out and got the research from everybody, the goal would be not to nerf anybody. Just buff other characters up. Like, that's all I would do, to be honest with you.
You know people would be mad. There's no way to avoid
it's
it.
probably true. It's probably true.
That would be the best way to go about it, but there's no way to avoid it. So.
Well,
Alright.
Street Fighter V Arcade Edition pre-orders will now include 30th Anniversary and Nostalgia Premium costumes. So there's a lot of new costumes coming. So everybody's been wondering where that Ibuki and Alex Nostalgia costumes.
Oh, right.
Well, here they are. So they're here. Even Juri has a Nostalgia costume now, so she looks like the classic. Akuma doesn't look like a freaking lion bot here anymore and stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff like that coming out. And then there's also going to be some 20th Anniversary costumes for Bison. And I think, like... Karen, doesn't she have like the oh no, that's the sports DLC that's coming out, where Karin actually has the horse trainer outfit, which actually is really, really cool.
That's cool.
I really like that one. So
I like the Zangief one where he's like a gladiator or something.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't really know what's going on there, but it looks cool.
Also, there is a game called Toho Sky Arena, which I don't know anything about it, but I think it's a platform fighting game. It's a arena fighting game, but it's coming out on the Nintendo Switch. So far, it's only been on PlayStation Vita, but they just announced that it's coming out on Switch.
Cool.
Again, it features 20 playable characters from the Toho franchise. I don't know much about this game at all. I don't know anything about this game.
Fact.
But for anybody out there who does know about this game, hopefully that excites them. So, also, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, although we did not have the numbers, actually placed 6th on the September sales chart. And it was only out for 2 weeks in September.
What sales chart?
The official NPD sales chart, I think. Let's see. September, so...
Were there like 7 games that came out?
No, there was actually more than that. So
Okay, what did it place above?
Destiny 2 was number 1.
Of course.
NBA 2K18 was number 2. Madden NFL 18, then FIFA 18, then Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So those are some pretty big games that people are excited for.
Sure.
And then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, granted, it did better than Grand Theft Auto 5, which is like a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
But it did do better than NHL 18 because nobody watches hockey in the U.S.
Yeah, it's dead. As a hockey fan,
Breath of the Wild, Rainbow Six Siege, Mario Kart 8, Metroid Samus Returns. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Pokken Tournament DX, Overwatch, all these things like that are down there. NBA Live 18. I'm not surprised by that. NBA Live has not been good for a while.
Apparently not.
But Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite number 6. Now, I'm suspecting it's like the big 5, and then there's this huge drop off to Marvel, but it's still not as doom and gloom as I was expecting. So.
I'm very happy to hear that because I thought it would sell poorly.
Yeah, I'm
But that's
pretty
great.
sure it's a big drop, but I do need to. Oh, God, how have I not picked up Metroid Samus Returns yet?
Well, you're
I
part
feel
of the
like I'm
problem.
completely messed up on that. Yeah, exactly. I totally should have been. I bet you if I bought it once, it would probably jump over like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
It's all you.
Yeah, none of those games came out in September for sure, so I don't know, but I thought it would be really, really terrible, so. Okay, what else is going on? In terms of community stuff, I mentioned this before, but Silent Scope had been releasing a bunch of tutorial videos for CVS2. He's released a new one. I think he's done one per groove so far, and now he's finished the K-Groove one. So you could definitely check that out. Check him out on Twitter. He is at Twitter. Well, actually, if you just go to youtube.com and look up Silent Scope, you'll be able to find him. Let me make sure it's not like Silent Scope 8. Yeah, it is. Silent Scope 88. If you go to his channel and you see a header with Cammy from HDR in there, that's the one. So there you go.
Cool. Nice work. I watched the one on Ngroove. I see you in the chat there. I liked a lot of the info, although I wish that you had stopped and started the video sometimes because there were times when it got a little rambly just to give honest feedback. But I thought it was good info for sure.
Apparently, Wizard responded to Maximilian and said that it actually tanked hard.
What are we talking about?
So Maximilian says, in other news, MvCI charting 6th in September NPD is much higher than I thought it would be considering the competition. Need actual numbers, though. And Wizard responded, I have the numbers. It tanked hard. So there you go. So 6 apparently is not very good at all. So.
Well, okay. That's a bummer then.
Yeah, so there you go.
Roller coaster.
Yep. Well, unfortunate. So, but we'll see what happens. So.
Dang, there's going to be an Injustice 2 ESL tournament in Australia for $20,000, and Biohazard will be going. That's cool. I hadn't heard about it.
Okay.
If you could, please send on Twitter over to me some info.
Yeah.
That was not the best.
Yeah,
sentence.
I mean, to be honest with you, like, I'm not surprised if Marvel did really poorly. It had the worst marketing ever.
No.
Nobody knew it was coming out. The game looked horrible. There was so much negativity going into that game. So, yeah, who knows?
I would be surprised if it did well.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope it did.
The thing that makes me the most sad about that is that I'm 99% sure that means it's probably it for Marvel vs. Capcom.
As a series?
Probably will never see another one again, just because it's tanked hard, and Marvel's going to be like, you guys suck, we want Injustice numbers, like...
Yeah, why don't we get these DC numbers right now?
And then probably that's it at this point in time, and they might throw it over to, like, they'll see Dragon Ball, and they'll be like, okay, Arxis, now you make a Marvel fighting game, and something like that, which would be sick. Which would be amazing.
What a silver lining, James.
Yeah, I know. That's actually amazing. So,
can you imagine, like, Tager versus some of those characters in Marvel?
They don't even need to do a versus, dude. They don't even need to do a versus. If they just straight up just made a Marvel... I mean, honestly, Arxis needs to make all the fighting games. Capcom needs to hire them.
Dang.
To make Darkstalkers.
Dang.
Right? Like, Capcom just needs to straight up do that. Apparently, they've done it before, too, so... But it would be a completely different game. It would be a completely different game, of course. So, okay, that's all I have for FGC news.
Okay.
I do want to just take a little bit of opportunity just to talk about my weekend this weekend.
Yes, please. Yeah.
I went to the Classic Tetris World Championships this weekend, which took place in Portland, Oregon, at the Oregon Convention Center during the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. So it's literally an expo. So they started this tournament back in 2010, I believe it was, and in 2012, just through chance meetings, like one of the main guys who was running the event ran into one of the guys who ran the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Was like, why don't you hold it at our event? And they were like, ding, light bulb went off. And yeah, it's pretty much like the main kind of like spectator event thing to watch over there. They have panels and all these other things over there, but I got to go there. I got to do commentary for Tetris the Grandmaster. I got to do commentary for classic NES Tetris.
I saw that too.
Man,
it looked awesome.
This weekend was like the James weekend. Like,
okay.
I'm serious. Like, I am just sad that I did not go previous years now. Because it's at the Portland Retro. Dude, I got to play these old ass games. Dude, I mean, I wish I wish I could like show you, like, I could do the slideshow thing where I could show all the photos. But like, they had a video game museum where this guy just had these giant clear walls of nothing but 2600 boxes. Atari 2600 boxes, and I was looking at them. I was like, I have that one. Oh my god,
Sick.
I have that one. Oh my god, dude, they have Sword Quest Waterworld. Oh my god, like, and then like they were selling Intellivisions. I was so close to buying an Intellivision and like a ColecoVision and stuff just to have them, because I've never owned those things.
Same.
Like that event could have been bad for me.
Financially, yeah.
Yeah, that could have been really, really bad for me. But it was so cool. It was really, really cool, and the Tetris stuff was amazing. And like, dude, it's crazy because it's even eye-opening. Because like, I thought like a lot of the players when they were playing NES Tetris, they were just super good. But then you find out that there's even this weird execution techniques in that game too. That like, normally if you hit left on the controller, it goes boop, like that. But you can trick the game into maintaining that the whole entire the fast pace the entire time. So when pieces come in, they immediately slide. So on the higher levels, you can get things to the edge. So there's like this weird technique that some players just manipulate it and can maintain it for the whole game and stuff. Or you know where you can let go and then re-establish it. It's called DAS, D-A-S, like dash advance something or other like that. But like, there's just
That's
like
cool,
the
man.
game is way more complex than I thought it was going to be. But
Sick.
I'm totally inspired. I need to get into this.
Yeah.
So, like, I need to play all this stuff. But it was really fun. I had a really great time there, and yeah, God, I swear it was just like the James convention.
Well, I watched some of the Tetris commentary, and I thought it was really interesting. It was
fun and interesting. And who was the guy who you commentated the NES stuff with?
Chris Tang.
Yeah, he was really knowledgeable.
Yeah, and Chris Tang, interestingly enough, played like in the very first Street Fighter II Sunnyvale Golfland tournament ever.
Did you know him?
Third place. I did not know him from before, but he was at B3, so we could have easily met each other.
How about that?
He was talking about a lot of, and dude, a lot of the guys there were like big video game fans and everything. So
sure,
I mean, I was definitely. They were really welcoming, and it was really exciting, and it was very cool.
I meant to ask about the boom.
Boom Tetris for blah.
Is there a thing about that?
It's just something that Chris Tang just started to do, and now it's his catchphrase, so he just does it all the time now. Yeah. Okay. God, if Erika could do Tetris the Grandmaster 4, that'd be great. But I mean, it's interesting to see a lot of situations because there was a couple of Japanese players who came over, and so they were like some of the favorites to like take out Jonas, who has won 6 classic Tetris World Championships, and remember it started in 2010, right? So
right,
6 out of 7. But now I think he's won like 7 out of 8 or something like that. So he won this year, so he's got 7 now. I mean, this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah, he was great.
The Japanese players got upset early on.
Okay.
They won Tetris. Let me tell you about Tetris the Grandmaster here. So Kevin DDR and the 2 Japanese players and a 4th player made it to grand final, to the final round.
Okay.
And what they do is they play 3 rounds, and this one has nothing to do with score. It's just who can get to Grandmaster the fastest. Mm-hmm. So it's just a race to get to Grandmaster. And you guys have watched AGDQ, and you see him trying to get to Grandmaster on Tetris the Grandmaster. It's really hard, right? Yeah. And 10 minutes is considered, like, if you can get sub 10 as your personal best, you are good. Right? It's usually like 10 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever like that, and that's what they usually get. They play round 1, they play round 2. Between the 4 players, whoever gets there first gets 4 points, then 2 points, then 1 point, then 0 points.
Okay.
After 2 rounds, it was not decided. It was not obvious who could win. It could go any way on the 3rd round.
Okay. Was it 3 rounds total?
3 rounds total. It got to the 3rd round, and I shit you not, this will never happen again. But it was getting so down to the wire, and pretty much Kevin DDR and the 2 Japanese players. So the 4th player, unfortunately, got 0 points first 2 rounds, right? So he was kind of out of the equation. But the other 3 were like neck and neck at the very end, and they all grandmastered within 0.40 seconds of each other.
What?
Less than a second. It was grand. Less than a second apart. They all grandmastered in the exact order that caused it so that the score was 7-7-7. So that they were all tied after the 3rd round. What? And so they actually had to go back to the tapes to find everyone's time for the tiebreaker to add everyone's time up together.
Yeah.
And first to second was separated by less than 15. First to third was separated less than 15 seconds.
That's crazy.
And they all had sub 10s. All 3 rounds, all 3 of those players had sub 10 grandmaster speeds. It was the most ridiculous thing.
That's cool.
When it completed, everyone was like, "What? Like what? How? No!" And like it was funny because one of the Japanese players didn't even realize what happened. He thought he had grandmastered first.
Sure.
And after you grandmaster, you can keep playing as the credits go. So he's sitting there playing, and he's just looking. He's playing. He's looking.
He thought everybody else was still going.
Yeah, and then he looked, and then all of a sudden you see him go like this, like he was like, but one of the Japanese players actually ended up winning. So it was Japan, Kevin DDR got 3rd, and Kevin was like, I'm not even mad about this. Yeah. He was like, to have it end up that way, dude. Yeah. Oh man, it was awesome. It was great. So cool. But the classic, man, I got like they had an after party on Sunday, and we were all just hanging out. And like I'm just sitting there, and I'm like talking all this like really geeky Tetris stuff with people, like, oh, you know this, and I really like how Grandmaster Versus sends garbage pieces because it's blah, blah. Like, dude, I got to geek out on Tetris stuff so much.
That's awesome,
it was awesome, dude. I had a great time. Yeah, and actually there is a stream archive of this. If you just go to twitch.tv/classic Tetris, they're also going to put it onto youtube.com/classic Tetris. So all that stuff is going to be there eventually as well. So
cool.
It was great, dude. I had a great time. They all asked me like, "Do you want to come back next year?" And I'm totally down. I mean, and again, like this, they don't like. You want to talk grassroots? Like these guys are like definitely. Like, not even like trying to say anything mean about them, but I definitely like spent way more money going there than I made. You know what I mean? But like that's expected, right? Yeah, I had no expectation otherwise. I wanted to go because I wanted to have a good time there, and I love it. And dude, I feel like it's gotten to the point right now where this could be. They need to just start thinking about like, you know, because you could tell talking to a lot of them, they're like, we want to grow this bigger. We want more esports. Dude, they should just like start throwing the Evo for puzzle games. Like, literally, they should have NES Classic Tetris. They should have TGM. They should have Puyo Puyo Tetris, because then the Tetris company will be more on board. Put in Magical Drop, so Justin can win that, apparently, as well. Okay. Put in Puzzle Fighter. Put in Bust a Move. Like, if they can just, like, start...
That sounds really cool, man.
Yeah, and, dude, like, even the guy who ran... Like, one of the guys who runs it, this guy named Trey... The way that he does it is that he actually pipes the feed of all 4 Nintendos, like they're played on legit Nintendo, but he reads the output of it and redraws it in HD in his own display so that he can even display point differentials, and he'll count the number of line pieces, and if it starts to be a drought, all of a sudden the drought number will start showing up on screen, so he can put them all 4 on display, and they're green screen on the side, so the player cameras are there. Like, it is, like, this guy is crazy. Like, he is doing some crazy stuff, dude.
That's crazy.
He literally is taking the inputs and reprocessing them into his own display to stream. It's pretty sick, dude. They're doing some cool stuff there, dude.
Dang, alright.
But yeah,
well, I definitely got to go back and watch the Grandmaster. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Dude.
Yeah, and I saw that there was a little video sent over by the creator of Tetris.
Yeah, Pajitnov actually got the hard part about it, honestly. And I was talking about this to the Tetris people. It's like the NES Classic Tetris is its own beast. Like, most Tetris players consider it to be the true Tetris, because there's just no hand-holding in this game. You can't slide pieces, you only get one preview, there's no hold, and like, there's literally a kill screen. You get to level 29 and like, it's basically unplayable, although like 4 people have gotten to level 30 or something like that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, but that's considered so there's actually a time limit. Like, you have to beat the other person's score before you reach level 29 or you're done.
Right.
So there's this kind of weird looming time limit on there and everything. But the problem with it is, like, I want to stream it. I literally have to bust out my Nintendo and my Tetris card. Like, there's no way for anyone to get into it. And in fact, we had player profiles for everyone, and most of them skewed pretty old. A lot of them were mid-30s, some of them were early 40s, late 30s. There's no young people playing this because they just don't have access to this, right? And so there's a lot of interesting situations for this community that that they're trying to figure out. Yeah. And of course, the Tetris company, very similar situations. They want things to be very, like, they're super OCD. Like, Tetris pieces have to be certain colors. You have to have these certain rules and all these things like that. And NES Tetris doesn't fall under any of those rules. So are they okay with people promoting this, or will they release like a updated, and NES Tetris HD, on another system or something? So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. So
yeah, mid-30s is super old,
dude. Yes, trust me,
super old.
So, I think it would be super cool. I think it would be super cool if we could all do this, if we could make this into something bigger. So
I think it's great, man. I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
It's certainly fun to watch.
Yeah, even one player from Finland named Jani, Jani, who apparently just does nothing but eat, sleep, and drink Tetris. But apparently their Evo 37 video involves him.
Oh,
just look up Jani, Yanni Go Super Saiyan.
Okay.
And just watch that video. And
okay, we'll do.
It's pretty entertaining. Pretty entertaining. And then watch Yanni. He's going to be obviously the one that does something funny. And then after you watch it, go back and watch the other player for a little while.
Okay, we'll do.
It's pretty funny. So.
All right.
Well, but yeah, obviously, I'm getting really excited about the whole thing because, like I said, I just had a fantastic time. They had a lunch break between top 32 and top 8, and I was like, all right, I'll go check out more of the con before I go and actually eat something, right? And then I ran into a Discs of Tron machine, and then that was it. that was my lunch break. Because that was my jam. That game,
Really?
oh my god, I used to play that game so much. But what's cool too, because I saw like Lord BBH is a fighting game player.
Yeah.
I ran into him over there because he lives in the area.
Okay.
Like I played him in Marvel Superheroes at E3 before E3 was big for grand finals of a Capcom booth tournament.
That's funny.
But like Ebonic Plague was there. He was doing commentary for a Smash tournament over there. Irene Lee Wave. Was selling. She did the Meowville versus Capcom stuff, and she was there selling stuff at the venue as well. So there, there was like I saw Zero Chan there. She was like trying to write some articles and everything like that. So I saw a lot of fighting game people there as well
Sick.
too. It's really cool. Yeah, it's exciting.
Well, cool, man. I'm glad you had a good time.
Jani Yanni. Jani Yanni goes Super Saiyan. Yeah, take a look for that video. So. But there you go. So that was a lot of fun. I did go up there. I forgot to check the weather reports. I went up there with no long sleeve clothes, no hoodie, and it rained.
Ooh.
I found a hoodie there. I bought it. They saved my life, and I left the hoodie on the plane.
Oh, jeez, what a time.
I'm gonna try to call United and be. They have like a missing item form. I'm gonna fill it out, see if they have it. I'll see if I can get it bad. But okay.
Can it really be accurate that somebody who's alive enough in the world to be typing on our internet chat right now?
Wait, say that again?
Can it really be somebody is alive enough and aware enough in the world to be typing on our chat and was born in the year, and whose dad was born in the year of 1983? Can that be possible?
Did someone actually say that on here?
Somebody said that their dad is born in 1983 and that they are somehow old enough to be typing on an internet chat. Crazy times. I can't believe it. Well, how old am I right now?
I'm older than that.
I'm 30.
I'm definitely older than that. Well, okay, let's think about this.
34.
If you're born in 83,
Yeah.
that means you are, 34 right now. And if you had a kid when you were 21, they'd be 13 years old right now. So if you had a kid very early on, sure.
I guess 13-year-olds can type. That's true. When I was 13, I could type. I was being a weirdo in AOL chats at 13.
Man.
Super weirdo. Oh boy. I am so glad that those days were not in the public Twitter sphere.
Dude.
That would have been, there are some benefits to being like on the cusp of the digital age and not fully into the old new millennium.
I don't have enough time to do anything like this, so I wanted to create like a secret Twitter account called Ancient FGC Twitter.
Okay. And
actually just like type out people's Twitter comments complaining about old school games and stuff like that, because I thought that would have been hilarious. But
doesn't that exist?
No, but like I actually wanted to make up like comments how people would have complained about it back then as they are now, but I never got a chance to do that. So, but I think that would have been funny to do.
I didn't do LiveJournal. I didn't do that stuff, but yeah, I was definitely a little weird kid on my various internet forums. I was on a Warcraft 3 forum. I guess that was all. It was later, but
Warcraft 3 was not even that long ago, right?
That was later.
I was already out of
out
of college. And
yeah, I was in college. So
yeah,
I guess it was like AOL chat rooms, and then the first forum that I was on was there was a forum for the California chapter of the Youth in Government YMCA Youth in Government.
This doesn't
thing,
sound
which I was part of.
As geeky as I thought it was going to be. Okay.
Really, YMCA Youth in Government doesn't sound like it's geeky to you. It was basically a model government that we did up in Sacramento every year.
That's right.
And so there'd be like somebody who was like elected governor of the fake government we were doing. And then there were the senators, state senators, there was the assembly people, there were the reporters. One year I was an assemblyman, and so I introduced like something like ban all guns amendment, I don't know, whatever. And then I was also, the next year, I was the editor of the statewide newspaper's opinion section. So I was, I did that for a while. Which was a mistake on their part.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't feel like that sounds like a good idea at all.
It was hilarious. We had some of the funniest stuff. I wrote
I assigned one of the writers to write a pro-capitalism article. Why should we keep capitalism? And then I did the communist section. And then when I didn't like, so
you were pro-communist in that
yeah,
article.
I mean, more or less.
So
yeah.
you could work for the government now. Anyways, continue.
Oh, okay. So the editor-in-chief didn't like some of the things that I was doing. Obviously. And so some of the other reporters and I basically banded together and we quit the statewide newspaper and we created our own newspaper. This is a totally true story. And we ended up selling it at the like statewide meeting that we had in Sacramento, which we were all there for a week. We like refused to do some of the actual writing that we were supposed to do, and instead we printed out like 500 copies of our own newspaper that we made and distributed them to people, and there was just some of the worst things that ever been written. Oh man.
How many did you sell?
We sold most of them actually.
Wow.
Yeah. We were definitely big old nerds.
And you know what? Today you would just create a blog.
Whew. Boy, that was a fun time.
You would just create a blog today, dude. Oh man.
I remember one of the points of big difference between me and the editor was that I wanted to purposely make it so that all of the articles were skewed physically from where they were supposed to have been. Like I wanted the layout to be purposely wrong. I'm telling you, it was the stupidest idea to make me the editor of anything. But
this is why you had the joystick that you cut holes and lines and stuff into, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely part of the same trend. There's no doubt. Why? I don't know. It's hilarious. I think that's funny. I still think that's funny. Although I might not quit my job over it. As I did back then.
Oh, man.
All right. Anyway, anything else to talk about?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm done. So, anything, I mean, probably chat doesn't really have anything in there for us, so. Okay. I'm good, unless you have anything else that you have.
I'm just glad that my internet troll days are hidden well in the past.
That's crazy, too, because the internet, usually you can find anything, right?
I mean, maybe it's possible, but you know, you'd have to be quite the sleuth.
Dude, my favorite was when there was that one account that was tweeting out a different GeoCities page every day. Like,
wow.
They had the front page of
Yikes.
every GeoCities page, and then my X-Men vs. Street Fighter combo fact came up on
No
it.
way!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Someone actually linked me the tweet, and I was like, yes!
That's
dude,
so
I was
cool.
so proud of that site, dude, back then.
That's so cool.
I was so proud of that site. Oh my god, it's funny.
I'm not Scoop Newsman.
You kind of wish you were, though.
Well, there were definitely times when Scoop Newsman came out with things that I thought genius. I was
Right.
like, that's excellent work. But that actually makes me feel kind of sad for whoever was Scoop Newsman, because people kept attributing it to me, and whoever came up with funny stuff didn't get the credit. So.
Yeah, my homepage is still out there somewhere, too. It's pretty crazy in any case, so... All right, some people are going to have to go see if they can find the way back stuff from David Graham from the AOL modem days, so...
Well, you wouldn't be looking for David Graham, I can tell you that. you have to sleuth it out extra hard.
Oh, there you go.
Extra hard.
Okay. All right, cool. Anything else? You
No,
good?
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Let's
All
play
right.
the old bird. Yeah. All right. Birdie.
Boom. Tetris.
Is that what that's from?
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
It's the CTWC. Oh, wrong one.
No, that's great. That's actually exactly like how my newspaper looks.
Actually, dude, that explains
That actually is exactly
everything.
like it. That's exactly
that
like it.
explains everything.
20 years
why
later.
this looks the way it does, and none of the things at the bottom are lined up and
No.
everything like that.
It's
oh
terrible.
my god. Oh, Jesus. Oh.